So we're going to get started with the noon prayers as brothers and sisters roll in on the YouTube land, and as you know, brothers and sisters are sliding into class as well. So we're going to get started with the first three priests. We're going to stand up. All right. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Bahasam Yahushua.
Bahasam Yahushua.
Ahawa'ah. Utalanawa. Award. Zayawan. Tawad. Aman.
Bless you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, that gives to us the light to see. Thanks, so be it. And the light represents the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Most High. You can find that in Matthew chapter 5, verse 16.
Come. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Bahasam Yahushua.
Bahasam Yahushua.
Ahawa'ah. Utalanawa. Rayah. Neachachah. Tawad. Aman.
Bless you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, that gives to us the sweet savor and peace. Thanks, so be it. And our prayers represent the sweet savor going up to the Most High. We can find that in Psalms chapter 141, verses 1 and 2.
All right. Is it good? The camera's good? Okay. Imagine Mukunya Yerusalem.
Stand and face Jerusalem.
All right. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Bahasam Yahushua.
Bahasam Yahushua.
Ahawa'ah. Utalanawa. Hasabat. Basalam. Tawad. Aman.
Bless you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, that gives to us the Sabbath and peace. Thanks, so be it.
All right. This is Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Anasha. Ayamya. Al. Haharyam. Naaya. Yabua'ah. Isaiah. Yabua'ah. Mayahoah. Sha'aisha. Shemaiah. Wa'aratazah. La'ah. Jonathan. Lamawat. Regolia. Yala'ah. The one. Shasharamor. Yasher Allah. Yehovah. Shemaiah. Yehovah. Tazoya. Al. Yimyad. Hashemash. Yala'ah. Hakayah. Bayawam. Wala'ah. Halabana. Walayala. Yehovah. Yashemaiah. Makol. Rai. Yashemar. Napasha. Yehovah. Yashemar. Hawalakia. Wabua'ayah. Ma'aitan. I will learn. Amen.
This is Psalms 121. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills, from which cometh my help. My help cometh from the Most High, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasharallah shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Most High is thy keeper. The Most High is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Most High shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Most High shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Amen.
Shema Yisrael. Yahweh Eloheinu. Yahweh Echad. Shema Yisrael. Yahweh Eloheinu. Yahweh Echad. Shema Yisrael. Yahweh Eloheinu. Yahweh Echad.
That's Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 4. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our power, Yahweh is one.
And this is the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanaw, Tabasamaya, Kudas, Haya, Samka, Yahweh, Malatwatka, Taba'a. Watazaka. Haya. Aisha. Ba'arataza. Kawa. Haya. Bashamaya. Zatalanawa. Lakham. Ko. Yawam. Wasalaknawa. Kabawatnawa. Kasalaknawa. Kabawat Yanawa. Wala'a. Tabiyanawa. When I say a one, a bull, Hawashayno, Mayan, Rad, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwat, Waha'ala, Wahata Paharat, La'aiwalonim, Aman.
This is Matthew chapter 6 and verse 9. After this manner, therefore, pray ye, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from all evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen.
Amen.
I got it.
He got it.
Yeah, I got it.
Good. Okay. This is the Ten Commandments in Hebrew. Number 1. La'a. Yahaya. Laka. Alahayim. Achoyim. Al-Punya.
Thou shalt not have no other powers before me.
Number 2. La'a. Ta'aisha. Laka. Paso. Wala'a. Ta'aibadam.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, nor serve them.
Number 3. La'a. Talakwa'a. Sham. Yahweh. Bashawa.
Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain.
Number 4. Zakar. Hayawam. Hashabat. Lakwadashwa.
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
Number 5. Kabad. Abaka. Wa. Amaka.
Honor thy father and thy mother.
Number 6. La'a. Taratazak.
Thou shalt not murder.
Number 7. La'a. Tana'a.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Number 8. La'a. Tagana.
Thou shalt not steal.
Number 9. La'a. Ta'aina. Shakur.
Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor.
Number 10. La'a. Takhamad. Ko. Asara. Lara'aika.
Thou shalt not covet anything that is thy neighbor's. Yeshabim, which means to be seated.
God, Bun Yashala.
Racha War Shabbat the Show, God, Ban Yashala. But it's right, Mike? Barak?
Yahweh Shem Yahshai Brakathum.
Yahweh Shem Yahshai Brakathum. All right, so we at the last chapter of Joshua. So we at the very last chapter of the book of Joshua, which is the 24th chapter. So the first reading is going to start at Joshua, the 24th chapter, the first verse, all the way to the 18th verse. So the first reading is going to read Joshua 1 through 18. Joshua chapter 24, verse 1 through 18. So we at the end. That one was pretty swift. The book of Joshua felt pretty swift. Yeah. Huh? Yeah, it was one of those fast ones. So, but it was hefty though. It was hefty, but fast. you know, huh? Yeah, it's a mighty man. Somebody to look up to, right? We say, look at the generations old. We literally get to look at the old generation and see how they moved, how they maneuvered, how they think through the issue. So literally, this is the Bible is literally we figuring out if we pay attention to all the things that we're reading. It's our psychology book. In America, they got psychology, right? This is your self-help book. This is your psychologist. This is your therapy. This is your remedy. So all the medicine we need is in here. So all the information that we need to learn to know how to get through a trial is literally in here. We just got to read it as what it is. It's a herb. The Bible is a herb, right? It's that herb that can hit a lot of things. Purge me with hyssop. That's the hyssop, right? That's the hyssop. That's the physician. So, this is the last chapter of the book of Joshua. So, the brother going to start reading. Everybody there? All right. Sisters, y'all there? Oh, he's like, that sister got a deep voice. Come on, go ahead. Let's go. All right, silly.
Joshua, chapter 24, verse 1. And Joshua gathered all the tribes of Israel to Shechem and called for the elders of Israel, and for their heads, and for their judges, and for their officers. And they presented themselves before the Most High.
Yeah, so this is this declaration. Remember, like Moses did his final declaration? This is Joshua's final declaration to the people to keep them what? So think about it. To his dying breath, right? He did the same exact thing he was taught. So he passed away, he lived the same way that Moses showed him how to live, right? And he doing it right here in this moment before he's about to pass away. So this is his final declaration that we're reading right here. So read on.
And Joshua said unto all the people, Thus saith the Most High power.
Hold on. Ash.
So, what came to mind when you said that was modern day term is will and will and testament. What he wants to happen after his death.
Yes.
You can relate to that. That's what came to mind when you said his final declaration.
Yeah.
And what my will and testament. This is what I want my children to continue to do in my life.
Yeah. This is the he's looking at his brothers and sisters like what they are, brothers and sisters. So he's sharing. This is his death will his will. This is his will, right? that he wants to happen, right? He wants us to serve the Most High, and we're going to read on to see exactly what he was telling the brothers and sisters. So that means this is important information, basically what's being said, right? So this means this is something that we have to lock into our minds, right? What you just gonna say?
Yeah, I was about to say final declaration. That was probably a real emotional like last goodbye. So just reading it, I want to be in the mindset of not only he was speaking to our forefathers, but he was speaking to us too.
He definitely is. Yeah, what you gonna say?
I wouldn't say.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like what y'all saying. I don't like the word choicing that y'all using because it is an emotional moment. It is a grand moment. It's a glorious moment. It's an emotional and glorious moment because it's like they're getting their land, but he's passing away. But he's leaving them with something to eat off of. Something eternal to eat off of, which is the wisdom of the Most High. And he's leaving that so that we can be able to look at the generation of old, right? I mean, we might as well get it. I quoted it twice. So, just quoted it twice. That's Ecclesiastes 2:10. 2:10. 2:10.
Ecclesiastes chapter 2 verse 10. Look at the generations of old.
Yeah, and this is one of the ones we go to. But in this moment, it's being, y'all expounded on it, right? We talking about it, but it's like, he set this moment. So not, like you said, not just for them in that time period, but for us now, to look at the generations of old, for us to be able to look and see what things they went through, what things they've been through, what trials they went through, and how they go through it. Right? What things to pick up and what not to pick up. So we're reading this so that we can see. He's saying something. He's saying, okay, y'all didn't get anything from all the time that y'all spent with me, right? All the time you spent with Moses. Here's another opportunity, right? If we didn't get anything from all the things that the Most High is bringing us through, right? You sit in class, you're online on YouTube, here's the opportunity. That's what basically being said. When somebody making that final declaration, they say the stone for things you got to be mindful of, continuing, and stop doing. Right? So, read.
And see, did ever any trust in the Most High?
Because that's what he's trying to show them. Reestablish them and keep them going forward in doing. To do what?
Did ever any trust in the Most High and was confounded?
Yeah. He's trying to reestablish that in your mind. You're not going to be confounded as long as you stick with the Most High.
Right.
Read.
Or did any abide in his fear?
Oh, do what?
Or did any abide in his fear?
That's a sumo wrestler stance. You in a hardcore squat position.
Right.
You're like, I will not move. I'm not moving. You're like, I live here now. I live in this place. And then you're gonna do. You're gonna move that. You're gonna move the other sumo wrestler back. He's gonna do what? Fall out the circle. Because that circle's your home. That's the abode of the Most High. That's the spirit. The spirit, that's your home. You're solidified in it. Right? They say in Ecclesiastes 51, somebody else get that. This is the abiding of 51. Go ahead. Ecclesiastes 51 and verse should be 30.
Ecclesiastes chapter 51, verse 30.
No, not 30. 23, my bad.
Okay. Ecclesiastes chapter 51, verse 23.
Come.
Draw near unto me.
You said who?
Draw near unto me.
Yeah. Once you come to the Most High, what are you supposed to do?
Draw near unto me.
Come close to the Father. Hug him. Give him a bear hug. Right? Hold him like Jacob held the angel's heel. Read.
Ye unlearned.
Because we're unlearned. And we're supposed to acknowledge that we're unlearned. We're supposed to acknowledge it and accept it. Accept it in what sense? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but I want to know. So that's why I'm bear hugging you. Because I want your life. Right? Like the woman, she touched Christ's garment. She wanted that healing. She chased after it. So much so that she had the full force of faith that if I just touch him, this blood issue gonna go away. That's the full force of the faith. But that's the abiding. She abided in faith. And that's what the Most High wants us to do right now. Abide. Ye unlearned. He wants you to acknowledge. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge that you don't know. That you need the help. Acknowledge that I can't see all things. Right? I need my eyes open. I'm blind. Right? I got a piece of vision. Right? The Most High opened me to the knowledge. I know smoking weed and stuff is not, I know it's bad. Right? I know pork is bad, but there's some more vision I need. I'm blurred. Read.
And dwell in the house.
You do what?
Dwell in the house.
That's the abiding part. Once you realize and acknowledge it, this is what Josh was trying to reassure the people. That they dwell in the what?
In the house.
Not just any house, but what house?
Of learning.
Dwell in the house of learning. He's like, sit your butt down in the house of learning. Glue it. Right? Yeah, get yourself to stick to the house of learning. And just acknowledge that we unlearn. And that we want to learn. And that's what Joshua was trying to reassure the people. You can drop that. Let's jump back to where you at.
Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken?
And that's the fear that you abide in. You dwell in his house. You didn't ever leave the house of learning, despite what was going on. You got tornadoes and fires and famines and rumors of wars and going on. But then you like, no, I got to keep on going to the house of learning. I got to find a way to keep going to the house of learning. Right? and bear hug the Yahweh, and bear hug the light, and so that I can embody the light. Right? Read.
Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him?
Who what?
Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him?
And this is what Joshua is reassuring the people on before he dies. Before they die. Or before he dies. And before they do something that can get them to die. Right? So this is what we want to be conscious of as we're reading it. This is a declaration of what to be conscious of. If you missed something while I was with you, walking with you, by the way, remember this. So let's jump back. Go ahead. Let them know where we at for the brothers and sisters that just walked in.
Come. This is Joshua, chapter 24, verse 2.
Right. And we went to the precepts we went to. We went to Ecclesiastes chapter 2 and verse 10. And then we went to Ecclesiastes 51st chapter and 23rd verse. 51st chapter, 51, chapter 51 and verse 23. So, and then you're at where?
Joshua chapter 24, verse 2.
Okay. So, in the precepts, just saying it one more time for y'all. Ecclesiastes 2 and 10 and Ecclesiastes 51 and 23. All right. Go ahead.
And Joshua said unto all the people, Thus saith the Most High Power.
Oh, and just to give you the context, we're reading Joshua's final declaration before he passed. So this is the last book of Joshua. Go ahead.
Thus saith the Most High Power of Israel. Your fathers dwelt on the other side of the flood in old time.
Look how far back he's making them tap into their psyche. Look how far back he's making them tap into their memory. Look how far back he's making us tap into our memory. Damn, before the flood, what was going on? Damn, what they was doing before the flood? Why Joshua talking about the flood? Why are you talking about the flood, Joshua? Right? The conversations you say in your head. Why are you talking about the flood? Why that matter? We're getting there now, Joshua. He's making them think. He's making us think. Read.
Even Terah, the father of Abraham.
Why are you talking about Abraham's dad? Read.
And the father of Nicanor. Nachor. And they served other gods.
That's why.
Yeah, I missed that.
That's why. You see that? So he's saying what? What do y'all think Joshua's saying in this moment? Go ahead, brother.
The first one that came to my mind, there's nothing new under the sun.
Khan. Okay. Matzara.
It's something I was thinking about a little while ago, which was Abram, when he had left his father's house, they were serving idols. And back then, he didn't start off as Abraham, he started off as Abram. So there was some development later on. But where he came from wasn't the customs or wasn't the same God that he left.
Right.
So he left all that to become a new man and get a new name.
You took another piece of substance. I was going from the perspective of his parents. But I like that. That's about on point because there's two sides of the story. Abraham, he transitioned to serving God and look what happened to his life. Right? Now, and then they were serving other gods. Right? And now the Bible don't go in detail about them. Right? So we can only go by what we have. But it's letting you know that they were serving other gods. Right? It said they served other gods. The people that was there in the land where he grew up, they served other gods, but Abraham transitioned. He transitioned, he elevated, he acknowledged the power, the one true power, the Most High, the God of heaven and earth, right? And that allowed him to transcend, to evolve. So imagine if you tap into the same spirit of Abram.
Yeah.
Right? State as Abram, when he was in his lowest state. Look what Abram, I like that you said that. Look at what Abram did in his lowest state. Right? Look what Abram did when he was told and instructed and commanded to leave his family. Look what Abram did when he left his security. Right? You could say security in all forms. Finances. Right? If you do, he left his family, right, which was financially secure as well. Right? And he had to pick up and leave. And literally start a whole new life. But look at why he's saying that. They served other gods.
That's dope. I mean,
That's a dope.
you hit that right on the head because you think about what we deal with today. You know, all of us sitting here and those of us online are telling our friends and family that no, we're no longer Christians, we're no longer Muslims, we're no longer spiritual, or whatever you was born as, right? You left that, we separated and came to follow the one true God, just like our father Abraham. Somebody, can I get one? And go to Romans 15:4. Now, think about it. These are people that, you know, we dwelt with. Blood kinfolk, what do you call it? Your sandbox, your day ones. And how many of them look at us crazy? A lot of them, like, they want to code, or you don't have to be that serious to serve God, right? But Abraham's done what we did. And that's what Joshua was telling our ancestors.
That's crazy.
Right, read that.
Romans chapter 15 and verse 4.
Read verse 3.
Verse 3. For even Christ pleased not himself.
I'm slacking. Romans chapter 3 and verse 3. Romans chapter 3 and verse 3.
Romans chapter 3 and verse 3. For if some did not believe.
Because when you tell people that the God of the Bible doesn't deal with Christians, and I'm no longer going to participate in these pagan customs, right? We went over it last night, answering the sister's questions. You can't even give me a gift that was bought in that spirit, wrapped or unwrapped, because I don't partake for your conscience sake, because I know who the creator, who the real power is going to judge me by. Keep reading.
Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect?
Go ahead.
God forbid.
These people, what they do with our family members, with our friends, with the rest of our nation, with their ignorance at this period of time, whether they wake up later or not, it should have no effect on our faith in the Father. Why? Because we could read about Moses. We could read about Joshua. You could turn to each other and y'all do it. They do it in church. Testimony. You could tell about the times where the Most High had delivered you from out of the fiery furnace. Right? Where the Most High has sent ravens to feed you. Now, it might not have been the raven. It might have been in the sense of a brother. You know, brother might come through and help you out. Right? But all of these things were written for what? Our learning, so that we can endure. Keep reading.
Yea, let the Most High be true, but every man a liar.
Come on.
As it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy saying.
So we be what?
Justified in thy saying.
We saying that we serving the one true God, that we are his true children, we are the real Jews. We're going to be justified by keeping that. By not being wavering, because some people say they don't believe, because some people say, what you're dealing with, it doesn't take that much. Why did you change your name, Abram? I named you Abram. Your mama made you classes, I'm going to call you classes, right? All of that kind of ignorance. But it's growth, because the Father requires growth. The world never tells you that when it comes to serving the God of heaven and earth. They just tell you to come there and be a plant, a fruitless plant. Right? You just did and as an attendance, but didn't bring anything productive. Didn't bring forth anything that the next brother, the next sister, that your children, that your household can eat off of. That's what we're eating off of, the works of our forefathers right now. Their diligency, Joshua's diligency, right? His ability to be under subjection to Moses, to learn, his dedication, we're eating off of that. That's why we're not outside chilling on Saturday fun day or whatever, looking to get overtime. We're here trying to eat off of that to give it to someone else. Keep going.
And mightest overcome when thou art judged.
I said that mightest overcome when thou art judged, because then going back, we're rehearsing these acts that Joshua does. Now we're little versions of Moses. We're little versions of Joshua, right? We're little versions of Judah and all the great men and women that's written in the scriptures. So that what? So that we might be justified when Yahushua comes back. To say what? Well done, my good and faithful servant. See, our people don't get that. But whether they get it or not, we're not moving.
Yeah. That's right on point. Yeah, so that's why it said he served other guys. Read verse 2 again and then go into you start reading. That's right.
And Joshua said unto all the people, thus saith the Most High Power of Israel, your fathers dwelt on the other side of the flood.
Look at that word though, dwell. We were just talking about dwelling, right? Well, we want to be where the house of learning is at. Because we can get out of the unlearned mentality.
Right.
Abram wanted to become Abraham so he can be learned and no longer unlearned. Right, read.
Your fathers dwelt on the other side of the flood in old time, even Terah, the father of Abraham, and the father of Nachor, and they served other gods.
Yeah, they served other gods. They gave their time to other gods. It was time for Abraham to go, but it was time for Abraham to sever the yoke, right? Let's get it. Be done. So it's Second Ezra. No. 2 Corinthians. Be not unequally yoked together. 13:4. No, that's not 13:4. Hold on. Yeah, it's in 2 Corinthians. You got it done, y'all? There it is.
2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 14. Be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers.
You be not what?
Be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers.
Yeah, it was time for Abraham to go. If he'd allowed himself to be together with those unbelievers, then he'd have never transitioned. He'd have never transitioned and grown because he'd allowed their conscience to weigh down his conscience. He'd allowed their spirit to weigh down his spirit. Yeah. So the Most High was like, oh no, it's time for you to go, Abraham. Right? And for Abraham, it was a move away from home completely. For some people, it's a what? It's a separation of how I spend my time with the people that I used to be around. Right? So we have to see what ways the Lord severed me from the people that I used to be around. That's not going to be beneficial to me. Not beneficial to my spiritual growth, not beneficial to my family, right? My kids, and my relationship, which is your what? Your marriage, right? Whether it be, or with the body, your bond with the body, right? So we have to see that when the Most High is making that separation, you can't fight against it. Don't fight against it. You don't want to, because then it just makes it harder for you to understand what the Lord is trying to do with you. And then you start wrestling, and then it makes your understanding hard. So don't wrestle when the Most High is taking you through that time period. Cleave to the Father. Ask the Father for more answers. Ask the Father for more understanding. Right? So that He can give you the understanding, why am I separating you from this person? Why am I separating you, distancing you from these family members or these friends? So that you can get the clarity. Because for the very same reason that He took Abraham. Yeah. Read that.
For what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness?
What, that don't even mix right. That don't even taste good in food. Right? Yeah. Dirty hands. Right? It don't even make sense. Like we seen a clip yesterday. They cook food. They take food from the dang dumpster, and they look for the organic matter of the food, the organic food, and they put it and they recook it and they put tomato paste over it. This is in looking Asiatic countries, right? Everybody shake their head like, yeah, man, that makes sense. Y'all shake your head like, oh, that makes sense. That's strange, but not strange for them, right? But the point in that me saying that though is that they take a fresh tomato paste, but they mixing it with trash. Does that go together? That don't go together. But that's what the Most High is saying about righteousness and unrighteousness. It don't go together. It's distasteful. It's distasteful. That same reaction you gave when I said that is the same thing that the Most High is looking at when you being a person that's striving for righteousness is hanging out with people that's not striving for righteousness. It's distasteful. It's distasteful because He knows that can defile you. So, what else to say?
And what communion hath light with darkness?
They don't. They have no communion.
Right.
They have no communion. Right? There's a scripture that says that the Most High separate light from darkness with an adamant stone. Let's get. I don't know. It's in Ecclesiastes 16. You done with that? It's in Ecclesiastes 16 and 16.
Ecclesiastes chapter 16, verse 16.
His
mercy is manifest to every creature.
Let's let everybody get there. Everybody there?
Come on.
Okay. His what?
His mercy is manifest to every creature.
It's not that God don't care about the person that he's separating you from. He just told you. His mercy is what?
Is manifest to every creature.
It's that they don't care at this time. Right? Or they might never care. They might never care, or they don't care at this time because God's definitely giving them the opportunity. Right? And God's giving us the opportunity to what? Separate from the unclean things. And it's not just people, it's just things too. It's things that we do, things that we like, things that we desire. Right? A way that we like to feel. God's separating us from those things. Because those things have us emotionally unstable. Right? It has us confused. It's draining. But then we give ourselves to it. But the Most High is like, I want to free you. So I'm bestowing my mercy to you. You may not fully comprehend it, but I'm going to instruct you on it. I'm going to give you my mind. I'm giving it to you right now through the word. Read.
And he had separated.
He had what?
He had separated.
Not the brother, not the sister, not your husband, not your mother, not your father. But the Most High did what?
He had separated his light.
His what?
His light.
His light. Righteousness, truth. In somebody that's striving for it. Read.
From the darkness.
From the darkness. But how did he do it? Read.
With an adamant.
With a what?
With an adamant.
He separated it with an adamant. Let's look up the word adamant. Look up the word adamant. So he made it a clear separation between the two. Look up that word adamant.
Adamant, Webster's 1828. A very hard.
A what?
A very hard.
So that means very hard. So he's making a point to create a separation. That makes it, he's making it his duty daily to separate it. Clean from unclean. So daily things are going to happen. Daily situations are going to happen to make it very hard for y'all to even get along. Very hard for you and these individuals to get along and communicate on a level, because then you're going to be like, girl, what are you talking about? Bro, what are you saying?
You want to do what?
Why would you want to do that? That don't make no sense. Did you just say he robbed from you?
Yeah.
Like, didn't you just say that he put his hands on you? Girl, what's wrong with you? Dude, what's wrong with you? Right? And there's going to be things that's going to happen that it's like, it pops up and your mind is not with it. But that person's mind is with it. And you're like, that's confusion. I got to get away from that. And the Most High said it's very hard, right?
Or inanimate stone.
No. Very hard.
A very hard or impenetrable stones.
Yeah, impenetrable. That means you can't try to mix. It will never mix.
Yeah.
If you try to, it will never come together. Clean and unclean can never come together. Huh?
Water and oil.
Water and oil don't mix. Right? That was a very Judite example of you. That was a good thing example though. Right? But water and oil don't mix. Go ahead.
There's another definition on that. It's adamant, refusing to be persuaded or to change one's mind.
Yeah.
That's think about it. When we get this truth, it's like it should be impossible for us to go back to the things that we used to do, the things that we used to enjoy doing, the worldly things. Because we read now, this is an abomination. The Most High don't deal with that. This is perverse. This is defiled. So now we got this truth, and we're freed from that filth, from that bondage. We should be adamant about moving forward and not going back and attaching ourselves to the things that defiled us.
Yeah, and no, you're right on point, and that's the thing. That's why it's separated, because they can never mix, because they're both. One is trying to get the other to bend to the other's will. Right. You trying to be like, God, Jesus, Lord, God, Yahushai, and they're like the devil cakes, devil birthday, July 4th, devil day, devil things, devil givings. They like, come on, do it. Turkey, ham, potatoes, turkey, chicken. They like on Thanksgiving, right? But then you like, that's the devil. Slaughtered 17 million plus some Native Americans. And they're like, I don't get it. And then you're like, I don't get it. And then we're like, we just don't get it. Yeah, but it's serious though. Right? We have to realize, and that's why I'm glad it's coming out this way, because it's showing that we have to sever the emotion. Don't allow, there's a such thing called emotional manipulation. Don't let the world emotionally manipulate you into thinking you're doing something wrong.
Right.
You're doing the right thing. You're doing what's right for the spirit of the Most High. You're doing what's right for your family, and they don't even know it. You're doing what's right for your family, and they don't even know it. One day they're gonna call you, and they're gonna ask you for help. Right? I don't often talk to my cousin, but when we talk, he's now about to order himself a KJV Bible. A year or two ago, he was over here trying to get into Egyptology, and he wasn't really into it, but he was talking about the grass. I gotta go take my sandals off and take my socks off and let my feet touch the grass. The grass got energy. He was on that for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, be more connected to the earth or something.
Yeah, I talked on the phone like, I definitely let him know that ain't it. I let him know. I went through the whole shebang with him. I didn't know. I'm talking to him, and if my cousins, we can dialogue on that level. That's my close cousin, so we can dialogue and talk on that level. But me sticking to my guns, I was able to at least get him now where he's KJV. He's about to get a KJV Bible with the Apocrypha. So
would you say that there's like a difference between like being unequally yoked with non-believers versus just like giving up on somebody?
definitely.
Because I mean, you still have the hope that eventually like they'll come around.
Uh-huh.
Your perspective, but so it's just like a hard separation, or what would you?
And when you say hard separation, expound.
Just like you don't talk to them, you don't like affiliate yourself with them, you just like,
It depends. That part, it depends. Depends how, are they trying to enforce their will on you? Are they constantly, like, every time you come around trying to enforce it on you, and then is it playing on your mind? Because if that's the case, then you want to be able to step away a little bit, because you don't want your mind to be played with, right? And, I would say that your husband knows you best. I would say sit there and talk to him. And with him knowing you best, right? Because it's a one seemeth just in his own cause, but his neighbor searches him out. So in your mind, you're like, well, I'm strong. I can, that's the first thing humans do. We all do it. I'm strong. I can handle myself. My mom not gonna influence me. My auntie not gonna influence me. This person's not gonna influence me. But then the person looking at you from the outside in, they see how things influence you easily. So they know your strength better than you know your strength, because they're looking at you. And then you're dealing with a man that's dealing with the word. So he knows your strength, right? And not to say you don't know, but he's helping you acknowledge what you're not acknowledging about where you are strong and where you lacking strength. And he'll be able to help you set up a barrier on how to deal in relationships and deal in interactions with your family and with your friends, so that your mind isn't swayed to where they emotionally play on your emotions, right? And they do it, some people do it consciously, some people do it unconsciously.
I was gonna say that earlier when you asked, I don't want to think it's purposeful, but maybe unconsciously.
Yeah, it could be both, but nonetheless, they keep on imposing, because when you tell them no, if they keep on imposing, what can we? I'm gonna come. It's not like you ain't gonna hang around somebody that smoke weed. You ain't gonna sit down next to somebody that smoke weed and they smoking, and you don't smoke, and you don't even like the smell of smoke. Well, would you sit next to that person? Yeah, so it's the same thing. They constantly telling you, come to Thanksgiving, come to Christmas, come to this, and then you tell them no, and then you even trying to give them the why, but then they're not even trying to hear your why. Or when they hear the why, they're like, well, that don't matter, it's family time. And they constantly imposing their will on you, then there's no point in being around that, right? I know we you know, some of us grow up, you're close to your family members, and you're close to the people that you grew up around, but we don't want to be persuaded. I'm going to show you something. Out the law, out the word. Yeah, family know you best, so they're going to know how to play with your heartstrings. So they're going to be like, you just don't love your mama no more. You let that man come between you and your mama. Like, oh, that's the word they may try to get you to what? Slip up. Mom, didn't you? But then you supposed to be like, Mom, didn't you raise me to believe in the word? The Bible says when a man get a wife, they're supposed to what? Lead together. They're supposed to live together. They're supposed to become one. So you telling me not to be one with my husband? I know you ain't saying that, Mama. Right? But you don't want to be swayed though. It's not saying you gotta all the way cut anybody off. But if you like somebody constantly imposing, you gotta create some sort of distance. But he knows you, and that's why I keep pointing to him. He knows you. He knows what type of distance you may need as far as with dealing with family members. He knows what you need as far as what to watch out for when talking to them. Or like what type of conversations you gotta watch out for, and the things that they will try to slip in on you. So he knows. So he when you talk to him, when you sit there and talk to him, ask him a real question. Babe, where am I lacking strength, mental fortitude when dealing with certain conversations with my mother, with my sisters, with my cousins, right? So that he can give you that assistance and show you, oh, in these moments, I notice you do this when they say this to you, and you don't seem as confident, and right? And then you'll filter him in what was in your mind, what was going on at that moment, and then he'll know the balance of where you're really at, right? Through y'all just literally talking and examining the situations so that you can get this shield wall of defense through the scriptures, right? So, hey, you got that may be in that book. But I want to show you this one about family, not letting family persuade you. Let me see. Hold on, I gotta show you this one. Gotta show you. Gotta show you. Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 13. Deuteronomy
chapter 13, verse 6. If thy brother, the son of thy mother,
Look, this is talking about relatives. Read.
Or thy son, or thy daughter, or the wife of thy bosom, or thy friend, which is as thine own soul.
Which is what?
Which is as thine own soul.
That means you're closely connected to them. You're closely connected to them, and they're doing something though. Read.
Entice thee.
And do what?
Entice thee.
Go ahead.
Secretly saying.
And they're trying to entice you. What are they trying to entice you to do? Read.
Let us go and serve other gods.
They want to, now they say let us go and serve other gods. But we know in this sense, they try to persuade you. Right? This sense, they say let us go. But then they're trying to, but this is, they're trying to persuade you. Right? And it's going to go on to say that too. Right? It's saying watch out for that. Watch out for that spirit of persuasion from your family members. Don't accept that. Read on.
Which thou hast not known. Thou nor thy fathers. Namely, of the gods of the people which are round about you.
And we know, like, okay, well, my mom was raised in the church, but we know Christianity teaches them to do what? Serve Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, but all these things, as we go into the history of them, are pagan. It's devil worship, and they don't even realize it. So you know when you're not serving those things, right? You know when you're saying no to them, you're not trying to be persuaded to serve other gods. Right. You see that? But the Bible's letting you know something. Go ahead.
Nigh unto thee, or far off from thee.
And it's saying don't serve the other gods of the other nations that are near you or far from you. Read.
From the one end of the earth, even unto the other end of the earth.
Right.
Thou shalt
Thou shalt not what?
Consent unto him.
And that's the part. That's the part that I wanted, because it's showing you don't allow your emotions to play on you to where you start to consent unto your family members. You know, you start to consent and consider and almost bow your ear to ungodly wisdom. Right? And they start to play on your emotions, and now you listen to their words. Right? You don't want to do that. Read.
Nor hearken unto him.
But God is saying, don't listen to that. Don't consent to that. Read.
Neither shall thy eye be pitied.
You see that? When pity comes in, what is that? Sympathy. The Lord said, don't sympathize with that. Don't sympathize with that emotion when they say, girl, you know, you never know when Granny gonna pass. It's Christmas. You know Granny love Christmas.
Oh yeah, that's
huh? You know Granny love Christmas. Come on now. Sugar. Come on, baby. Right? Show you right. Right? That's his word. But they hit you with those smooth words. Right? Our people know how to use their tongue. They know how to guilt trip you. They know how to guilt trip you. And the Most High is saying, don't pity them. Yo, I can't pity them. That means don't think with an American mind. Think with a spiritual mind. God has given us a command not to consent, not to pity them. Read.
Neither shalt thou spare.
Right. You read?
Neither shalt thou conceal.
And it goes on to say about the repercussions of what they were doing, these individuals that were serving other guys. But the Most High is showing us in this verse, the wisdom in this verse, in this law, is like, don't be persuaded by those things. Right? Don't be taken by these things to where now it's emotionally trying to plague you. Don't let it emotionally plague you to where you feel confused. But He knows you best to where He can tell you what moments captures you with your family though. Right? You can create, it's a balance. It's a balance. You know, it's not just saying that you gotta, sever all the way, but it's like it's a balance. You gotta watch out for that line. He knows you're gonna be able to sit there and talk to you about the strength, right, that you have and what you gotta watch out for when you're talking to your family members, so that you don't get swayed away from the word, right? Because that's the thing. It's about not being swayed and doing anything contrary to the Father. So it's about being careful. But you see that, right? Okay. Yeah, he's gonna be able to assist you on that. So I got that conversation tonight. Right? What you had on?
Isaiah 55 and 8. My coming into truth and even being a Christian, for me understanding how I can't continue going back to the world, right? Because that's essentially what we're talking about, being persuaded to return.
Right.
Right? I used to think that it was, I'm either turn to the right or I'm going to turn to the left, right? But the scripture says in Isaiah chapter 55 and verse 8, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are my ways, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. For as the heaven is higher than the earth. So we can't think that the world ways is kind of balanced or on the other side of God's ways. We have to understand that the world ways is beneath the Most High's ways.
Right.
And so where we are is aspiring to be high, to aspire to that standard.
Right.
When we give into what sympathy says,
right,
it's declining. We're thinking of a decline thought,
yeah,
not the Most High's thought.
Yeah. No, that's right on point. That's right on point. And I like that verse because it's showing us that, okay, the Most High's way is higher than mine. It almost relaxes your mind to get you to see that, okay, the Most High's ways is higher than my family ways. They can't think, their wisdom is not more greater than the Father. Obvious. So there's something that they're telling me that's wrong. Obvious. And if I look at the history of these holidays, it's obvious. Or let's take it out of the holidays. I know you're thinking probably beyond the holidays, right? You're thinking about it, but you're just thinking beyond. Me just having moments where I'm just kicking it with my family. well, I gotta be mindful, even in those instances, because I don't want to be influenced. Because think about it, when you being here, right? You being here to get your spirit right, get right with the Father, right? And truly understand what it means to serve Him. But in that, the end goal is what? Get into the kingdom. And with that being attached to it is what? If I'm not fighting for the kingdom, then I'm waiting for your house to come back, and I'm gonna get burnt to a crisp if I'm just living like the world. I don't want to get burnt to a crisp, so I want to make sure I understand what the Father requires of me, right? And you know, with me understanding that, I'm always considering what's the ways of the Lord. What always relax your mind is what's the way of the Lord? What's the way that the Most High wants me to go? What's the thing that the Father wants me to do? And then He'll be able to show you out that book. And then, I mean, obviously, when you're in class, you go get these classes too. But He'll be able to open up that book and show you, this is what the Father wants us to do. This is how the Father wants us to think. Well, let's open up the Bible. When my mom was thinking about hanging out and I was trying to do this and then at this specific time, but then He's like, okay, well, let's see, does that line up? Let's go through the scriptures, right? Let's see if that lines up with what's going on right now and what's needed. Is it convenient in the midst of us trying to serve the Father? You're going to figure that out, all right? So He's going to be able to help you with that. They'll know. So,
but it's a good question, especially for the new people. Now, you know, this being new to you, that's something that plays on us. Though some of us did have good interactions and history and memories with our relatives. Now, I choose to use the word relatives more often than family, right? Can I get a scripture real quick? Go to Matthew 12. Matthew 12:48. And I'm talking about, like, I don't really have too much bad family history. I'm not saying my family is perfect, but you know, we always gather together, we always laugh, we have fun, right? But when I got this truth, the people that I looked at my relatives like, how come y'all never taught me this? Right. How come y'all don't know this? Right. You know what I mean? Y'all love me, but why are we not talking about this? Then I sit down and I'm around, I'm like, what are we talking about? We're having frivolous, pointless conversations. If we really understand what days we're in right now, and we really understand what our life right now is supposed to be about purifying ourselves, cleansing ourselves from all of the filth of the world, to hopefully be chosen. We should be talking about something that betters us, not gossip, not just financial betterment, not just educational betterment, but spiritual. But a lot of our families are Christians, right? How often are we talking about the Bible? How often are we talking about God's ways? How often are we an example of what the Father requires? I didn't see that. I'm talking about evangelists in my family, deacons, ushers, choir members, you name it. But nobody wants to talk about this when we gather around. So, wow, just read this. Let me show you what Yahweh Shai considers family. Right.
Matthew chapter 12, verse 48.
Because when you get this truth, sis, it'll start pulling at you. When the family union pop up and they want to go to Bahamas on a cruise, and they're like, you ain't gonna come, is all of us gonna be there? Like, nah, I'm good. I'm good, y'all have fun. We having a get together. If I can make it, maybe I'll slide through. But I noticed that I don't stay as long as I used to, because y'all ain't talking about that. Go ahead, read.
But he answered and said unto him.
Read 47 to get the context.
Verse 47. Then one said unto him.
46.
46.
Yeah.
While he yet talked to the people.
Talk about why Yahweh was out there talking to the people that wanted to listen, that wanted to hear. Go ahead.
Behold, his mother and his brethren stood without, desiring to speak with him.
Wait a minute. So Yahweh's family was not around listening to him? Where were they at? What were they busy doing? Now they want to come and interrupt him? Now they want to try to pull him away from his work, doing the Father's business? Yeah. If they was believers, shouldn't they have been right there with him, like everybody else? It says he was always with a multitude. How come his blood kinfolk wasn't there? Right? Read.
Then one said unto him, Behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without, desiring to speak with thee.
They without. They're not even a part of everybody else that was listening. They out there trying to pull you to the side conversation. Trying to pull you away. Go ahead.
But he answered and said unto them that told him, Who is my mother and who are my brethren?
Ooh, that sounds so cold. Especially to because I was I come from the Cosby family. Nah, real talk. I mean, I got as much as they don't want to admit it, I know my cousins that did penitentiary time. I know my cousins that was that died from AIDS. I know my cousins that was crackheads, but they don't talk about that part. We a Cosby family. Everybody's got college degrees. Everybody's got their own house. Everybody's got 401k. You know, my little cousin just got his own house. You know, everybody's popping up in family chat and stuff like that. They don't want to talk about the film, right? But Yahweh Shai said, read it again.
Fine. Who is my mother and who are my brethren?
Read.
And he stretched forth his hand toward his disciples.
Toward his what?
His disciples.
Those that cared about the message that he was bringing from the Father. His students, right? He said he stretched forth his hands to the multitude that gave it him. Not the ones that just trying to pull up and trying to get you to pull out. The ones that's there locked in. That's encouraging you to lock in. Think about it. The brothers and sisters that you see, and we use those words so loosely sometimes, we don't consider it. The brothers and sisters, you don't share blood with me, but this is my brother. These are my sisters. Why? Because they're going to remind me of what the example is to live a life that'll hopefully give me the kingdom. They're going to let me know when I'm wrong. My baby don't tell me. They offer me shrimp. We have the seafood fest. You name it. Shrimp, lobster, clams, mussels, oysters, calamari, because that's good eats. In American mindset, to a Christian mindset, you're going to have the medium well steak, because if you're cooking well done, you might as well have a burger. All of these things that's contrary to the Father, they're going to teach you. But that's my family.
Yeah.
Family is supposed to encourage you to live.
God.
A family is supposed to encourage you to prosper. The lifestyle that a lot of our family members, although it's not direct, you don't see that directly defective, it is. It defiles us. Read.
It said.
And I'm not just talking to the sister. A lot of us really got to snap into that mind. Who is your family?
Yeah. That's right.
Stop giving these people just because y'all can see the same DNA. There's a lot of these people, none of us chose our mothers and fathers anyway. You never chose your mother and father. You were a product of their interaction. But what did they give you? That you being, if children are a blessing, how did they show you was a blessing? They were supposed to bring you up in an admonishment of the Most High. You were supposed to be talking about the Most High on your car rides, right? And your family gatherings. What sis? Yeah, we're talking about like when family tries to weigh on you, when they try to pull you. You know, how do we? What's the proper way to separate?
What's like the proper balance of distance?
Huh?
I had a comment. I was wondering.
Oh, go ahead.
I realize a lot of people think our family. My family is not bad, but for example, my family is not wicked or anything, but they taught me well. I have mom and dad. They worked hard for me. They gave me my principles. I learned a lot from my mother. But it's not like they teach me wicked. It's that they didn't have the scriptures to teach me the scriptures. So you can say my parents are not bad because they're not bad mouthing me. They're not about what I'm doing. But the truth is that they taught you what they thought was best.
Right.
They don't have a book to tell them what to teach us. So perhaps they're not bad. It's just that we don't learn the knowledge from them because they didn't have it. So we can't say, oh yeah, my parents are wicked. My parents are awesome. My dad was alive, awesome too. Up to some point. But truth is, whatever they taught me wasn't based on anything besides what they thought was good. So comparing it, yeah, I could have gotten better if they would have gotten the scriptures.
Right, because we don't look at that as being neglected, as a neglected child, because you were fed, you had a home, you had clothing, you had love, but to not get this to not get spiritually fed, that's neglect. Yeah. But they didn't know that. But now, keep reading.
Come. Behold, my mother and my brethren, for whosoever shall do the will of my Father.
This is the key. This is the key. If you want to do your DNA test, You want to see who your real relatives are, right? Who your real mother, your brother, because when you get this, the Most High said, he didn't come to, Yahushua said, I didn't come to bring peace but a sword. A man foes would be those of his own household. So a lot of us lost, like close cousins, mothers and all of that. But then what did you gain? You gain a innumerable amount of brothers and sisters. Why? Because they're family according to this. Read.
For whosoever shall do the will of my Father,
Read.
which is in heaven,
Come on.
the same is my brother.
The same as what?
My brother.
Now, my brother don't call me no more. Well, he calls me on occasions because he'd rather still do 4th of July, right? He'd rather still roll up and smoke, right? He's still about the worldly things. Read.
And sister.
Come on.
And mother.
Read.
That's it.
Those are who your relatives are. Yeah, it's like.
Give it back to him, let him read.
Okay, yeah, but let's go back.
Joshua chapter 24, verse 3.
I know, right?
Did I?
Oh, right.
This is yours, though.
Right, just put it like this.
Oh. You can
Go ahead.
Joshua chapter 24, verse 3. And I took your father Abraham from the other side of the flood and led him throughout the land of Canaan and multiplied his seed and gave him Isaac. And I gave unto Isaac Jacob and Esau. And I gave unto Esau Mount Seir to possess it. But Jacob and his children went down into Egypt. And I sent Moses also, and I sent Moses also and Aaron. And I plagued Egypt according to that which I did among them. And afterward I brought you out. And I brought your fathers out of Egypt. And ye came unto the sea. And the Egyptians pursued after your fathers with chariots and horsemen unto the Red Sea.
Mm-hmm.
And when they cried unto the Most High.
Yeah, and so you recant that history. So he's hitting key moments in our transition from being worldly to being godly. Right? Moving like a people that weren't chosen from God to a people that are chosen. Right? And then this Redeemer redeeming us so that we can have something of our own to stay chaste, to stay pure. Read.
And when they cried unto the Most High, he put darkness between you and the Egyptians.
You see that? Light is separated from darkness with an adamant. Read.
And brought the sea upon them and covered them. And your eyes have seen what I have done in Egypt.
Mm-hmm. So he's saying, look at that. And then us being this new generation of Israel, right? We have to look at that and be like, dang, the Most High made it clear. He cut the line. It's like when you see you know, one of these movies where they have these guys where they give them like crazy powers, where they like with a big sword and they just go and they almost split the earth. That's how clear of a separation the Most High made. Because that's how hard he will go to make sure that we stay pure. He's showing his endearing love. Read.
And ye dwelt in the wilderness a long season.
Mm-hmm.
And I brought you into the land of the Amorites, which dwelt on the other side of Jordan. And they fought with you. And I gave them unto your hand that ye might possess their land. Mm-hmm. And I destroyed them for before you. Then the Balak, the son of Zippor, the king of Moab, arose and warred against Israel, and sent and called Balaam, the son of Beor, and cursed you. But I would not hearken unto Balaam. Therefore he blessed you still. So I delivered you out of his hand. And you went over Jordan and came unto Jericho.
Key moments. He pointed out these key moments where the Most High always took care of us. He did grand things. These are grand moments that we know in history, right? And it's like he's pointing out these grand moments where he did grand things. How the level of how far he would go just to make sure that you're secure. Read.
And the men of Jericho fought against you. The Amorites, and the Perizzites, and the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, and I delivered them into your hand.
Yeah, look how many people came after you. Look how many people came after us, right? And he stopped all of them, just to make sure you get to where you need to go. He's like, I'm gonna make sure you reach your destination. I'm gonna make sure you reach your destination and that you get where you gotta go. Read.
And I sent the hornet before you, which drove them out from before you.
And you didn't have to lift a hand. You just had to move with faith. Read.
Even the two kings of the Amorites, but not with thy sword, nor thy bow.
Notice they used the word, it didn't say not with a sword. It said not with thy sword. Showing you that your power lies with me. So keep your mind humble, keep your spirit humble. Your power lies with me. So he's like, stick close to the Father. Not with thy sword, not with thy bow. Read.
And have given you a land for which he
said, I. Read.
A land for which he did not labor.
We didn't do what?
Did not labor.
And what else?
And the cities which he built not.
So you didn't have to do anything but be clean. You didn't have to do anything but be clean. Read.
And ye dwelt in them. Of the vineyards and the olive yards which he planted not, do ye eat.
Yeah. So that's when Ecclesiastes is saying, think how you have had a little labor and have gotten much rest unto you. That's basically that's it in action. That's it in action. So when you hear these wise sayings, like, oh, that sounds deep, it sounds cool. No, they're pulling from experiences that our ancestors had. That's what Ecclesiastes is pulling from. These moments here. And that's what we're supposed to be pulling from too. You know, it's from these moments where we read these historical moments, significant moments in history of our ancestors, right? That now we have the opportunity to know. We have to pull from them and extract the wisdom so that we can look at our life, slow down, and say, okay, I got a building. I drew up an architectural structure, but the Most High already got an architectural structure. I'm looking at mine. Mine don't look as neat. Mine's I'm trying to create a vineyard, but my vineyard looking all confusing. The Most High God is simple. I'm looking at my house. My foundation is kind of shaky. I want to use wood because I want to be cheap. But the Most High is telling me to use the best, right? Cement. So we have to look and be like, okay, let me stop using this wood. Let me use this cement. This is cement. The wisdom solid. Read.
Now therefore, fear the Most High.
Do what?
Fear the Most High.
The only thing. Read.
And serve him in sincerity and in truth.
And that's the part. And what does that mean? Face the reality of who you are. We have to face the reality of who we are. Right now, in the moment, right now, as you're sitting down in class, who am I? We have to ask ourselves that rhetorical question. Who am I? Who am I, and how am I serving the Father? Am I doing it according to this? Because if I do it according to the two words that he just put in there, sincerity and truth, then the Most High can do what? Take care of it. Right? Then he'll do his part where I'm laboring, but I've gotten much rest. Right? He can do that part. But if we're not doing that, I have to ask myself, who am I? And when you ask yourself, who are you? And when we ask ourselves, who are we? Right? We have to do what? Write it down. And say, this is who I am right now. And if you're tired of it, and you want a new reality, you want sincerity, you want truth, then it's up to you to get up and say, what? And do what? Read.
And put away the gods which your fathers served.
And you may say, well, I don't serve other gods. I open up the Bible just like you. But where's your mind at with the Father? Where's your care for your relationship with the Father? right? Is it in changing your mind? Is it in being adamant in the positive sense and not being adamant in the negative sense, right? Are you refusing to change your mind in the negative sense? Or is it in the positive? Are you becoming more adamant towards serving the Father? That's the reality. If you want the solution, if you want the remedy, if you want the healing part, if you want the hyssop to do his job, right? You got to do what? Put away the gods which your fathers did what?
Your fathers have served on the other side of the flood.
Key point. He went right back to the beginning. He told us, look at the days of old. Look at the generations of old. He went right back to the beginning of what he said at the very top of the chapter. Look at the other side of the flood. Who did good? Abraham or his parents? Right? Abraham. Read.
And in Egypt. And serve ye the Most High.
And that's the solution.
It goes back and we gotta constantly look back and see the mistakes of our forefathers. It's easy to strive for perfection and to be better than our forefathers if we go and look back at the mistakes they made. Like you can see all the spirit, like let's start from the beginning. The spirit of Cain. Like what mistakes did he make? Just if you're studying and you put that, like if you just said, okay, mistakes of the wicked, and you just went and started from Cain, and you wrote down, listen, character defects. It went from Cain, and then went from all the ones that the Most High rejected. It'd be clear what not to embody. It'd be clear, but when we read the Bible, it's unfortunate we're still reading like the white man told us. We're still reading like church taught us. So you're not studying to that level. That's why a lot of times you don't become self-aware of like, damn, this is deep. This is deep.
Yeah.
And you know what? Let me put off these ways of the wicked. You know, but that you might not be as your fathers. No. But that was the one in Psalms. Stubborn and rebellious. It's
78.
78, right? 78. Go there real quick.
78 and 8.
Really?
Psalms chapter 78, verse 8.
Wow, this guy's just gonna be blazing through these now. You be getting those quick, bro. Good job. Go ahead.
And might not be as their fathers.
See, that's the warning. The warning is that if we go back and look at all the things that our wicked forefathers did, that's what it's talking about. That we might not be after their wicked characteristics, their wicked thought process, their wicked example. Just do it. Just go through it, and you'll start. I guarantee you, if y'all study that, you would change. You would change your thinking. You'll be like, damn, there's a lot of wicked attributes that these cats had. And then you do what the scripture says. 2 Corinthians 13:5, you don't have to go there. But let a man examine himself whether he be in the faith. Then you can say, damn, okay, this mind is rejected. This is the mind that the Most High loves. Go ahead.
A stubborn and rebellious generation.
You see that? That's what we have to run from. The mind of our forefathers when they locked into this mind of a stubborn, rebellious generation. Our forefathers that went on. That would not change, that would not bend, that would not yield, that would not submit. That's the point. Right?
Yeah.
Because the Most High rejects that spirit. Go ahead.
A generation that set not their heart aright.
They set not their mind aright. Like no matter how much time the Most High gave us, you didn't set your mind in the right way.
Yeah.
Right? Go ahead.
And whose spirit was not steadfast with God.
Oh, okay. So your mind was not consistent. And if you judge yourself, there'll be these times where you're dipped. Like we're going through that dipping stage. And I'm rejecting that mind. I'm rejecting that. Damn. Oh, is the Most High with me? Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, God dang, this is a big dip. You know what I mean? But you got to reject that mind and go back and say, wait a minute, the Most High been here. There you go again, Israel. That's what I be telling myself. That's that mind state that tries to put you back so you can doubt, you can make decisions rash, you can really ultimately reject the Father.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
So, but once again, y'all should do that. Go ahead. I mean, we might have to just do it in class, right? Do classes on it. What?
Now, I like how you bring it up, and I love the way the scriptures is supposed to make us look at ourselves and compare ourselves to what generations are old.
There you go.
Like we look at how when Most High did he did these marvelous works for us to get us out of bondage.
Mm-hmm.
And what did we do as soon as we got free? We complained and wanted to go back. They were like, oh, that's them, but you do that today. I have to check myself. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm free.
Right.
Why am I tripping about these little things that pop up? If
Yeah.
I really believe, just be patient, continue to serve with a joyful heart, and watch the power of the Most High.
That's why Ecclesiastes 2 is like our mantra.
Yeah.
Ecclesiastes 2 is our mantra. That's constantly rings in our head. Like when you come to serve the Lord, prepare yourself for temptation. And remember, let's be real. One man esteemeth one day, and another man the day alike. You might not be being dipped right now.
Right.
You might be what? I'm good. Like bills are paid, car notes paid.
You might just came out.
Right. You might exactly.
Hey, but I just came out of that, man.
Yeah, you might. There you go. You might just came out. Right? And then somebody else is getting dipped. And then not only money-wise, but relationship-wise. And like, everything can be riding smooth for you so far. But remember, it is always sweet in your mouth, but there will be a bitter time. You're not going to escape it. This is what we're chosen for. Right? We're going to be dipped. But the point is not to be like our forefathers, right? Go ahead.
The children of Ephraim.
All right, that's it on that. Go ahead.
You can jump back on, Rokan.
Okay. Joshua chapter 24, verse 15.
Joshua.
24, 15,
verse 15.
and you stop at verse 18.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Most High, choose you this day whom ye will serve.
What he sound like? Sound like Moses. Saying the same thing as Moses, right? Moses says, I said before, the life and death, good and evil, cursing and blessing. Or blessing and cursing, right? And then he said, choose. So he's saying in this, I like the way he's saying it. He's saying, if it seems evil to you, he's making you think about it. Is it really a bad thing to serve the Lord? It's not. It's making you think about it. It's just that, like he's saying, look inside. Read.
Okay. Whether the gods which your fathers served that were in the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites.
Yeah, look at that generation. Look what happened to that generation opposed to the Abrahams, the Sets, the Methuselahs, the Isaacs, the Jacobs. Look at them. Look what happened with them, the Josephs. Look what happened with them versus the other people that gave in to the dipping. Read.
In whose land ye dwelt. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Most High.
Yeah. The house that always served the Lord, that made the Lord their addiction, was always what? Sheltered, covered, secured. Right? So it was this, help, guide me, shield me, protect me, strengthen me, heal me, right? Samat, Kazak, right? Izar. That house was always in that abode, right? Where the Most High did those different things. And you know, those things happen in stages to be able to establish your heart and see how the Lord works. Because he wants you to understand him. So he takes you through the trial so that you can understand him. So, read on.
And the people answered and said, Most High forbid that we should forsake the Most High to serve other gods.
Right. Go ahead.
For the Most High, our power, he is that brought us up and our fathers out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage, and which did those great signs in our sight.
Yeah, catch the words so that you can, if you expound on a word that you're already saying, and you hold it, you grasp it, which did, it'll give you time to look at the word next to it. I know you got the glasses. Go ahead.
I feel like time. And which did those great signs in our sight, and preserved us in all the way wherein we went, and among all the people through whom we and among all the people through whom we passed.
No, you good. Oh, you need water?
You need water?
Yeah, that Red Bull ain't gonna give you thirst quench. They give you wings, but they ain't gonna give you thirst quench.
Right.
That brother drank that Red Bull like he was gonna open his. Who must have laughing like that? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, man.
Verse 18. And the Most High drave out from before us all the people, even the Amorites, which dwelt in the land. Therefore will we also serve the Most High, for he is our power.
And that's the remembrance he was bringing everybody to. The Most High is the power, and he preserved you, and he used signs and wonders. Oh.
Aharon, Shabbat Yahweh, Bon, Yasha'Allah.
Aharon, Shabbat Yahweh, Bon Yasha'Allah. I might right?
Yahweh Shemel with Shadrach and Thumb.
Yahweh Shemel Shadrach and Thumb.
Sir.
Yes, sir. Ready. All ready. I want to see if you can get that, like right there. Yeah. For the meantime. Yeah, it might just.
The second read is reading Joshua chapter 24, verse 19 through Judges chapter 1, verse 3. So after he finished this chapter of Joshua, we're going to be going right into the next book, which is Judges.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is the last book of Joshua. So this is his declaration before he passes away. All right. All right.
Joshua chapter 24, verse 19. And Joshua said,
Water.
We got another cup up here.
And Joshua said unto the people,
Another cup.
Ye cannot serve the Lord, for he is an holy God. He is a jealous God. He will not forgive your transgression nor your sins.
Right.
For
Most High is holy. He don't like it when we do wrong. He don't want to see us do wrong. So he's gonna whoop us. He's gonna whoop you if you're not being holy. That's what he's saying to the people. All right, now y'all saying y'all agree. He's gonna whoop you if you don't do right. That's basically what he's saying. You know, he said, Jonathan, you know your daddy a hard man. You know if you do that, he gonna come and get you. your daddy know you. He know when you're sad. He know when you're doing something wrong. You see that twitch in your eye, Jonathan. You know you do that twitch. Right? That's basically what Joshua was saying to him. Read.
Verse 20. If ye forsake the Lord and serve strange gods, then he will turn and do you hurt.
See?
Don't do you hurt, boy.
Boy, don't do it, boy. Don't cross the gun line, boy.
Do it.
Go ahead.
And consume you. After that, he have done you good.
Yeah, just like he did you good. He said, should the Most High give you blessing and not cursing? So if you do right, should he not give you the blessing? He's going to. He said he's going to. But if you do wrong, you don't think he's going to do He's gonna whoop you. But then even in the blessings, you still got trials too. So in the trials to keep you in line. Read.
Yeah. Verse 21. And the people said unto Joshua, Nay, but we will serve the Lord.
Right.
And Joshua said unto the people.
You got that son like, oh, I don't want no problem with dad. I know how dad is. Right? But then he don't really mean it.
Ooh.
We're gonna figure it out. Read.
Ye are witness against yourselves that ye have chosen to the Lord. Ye have chosen you, the Lord, to serve him. And they said, we are witnesses. Now therefore put away, said he, the strange God, which are among you, and incline your heart unto the Lord God of Israel.
You know, the only thing at this point that should be boring, as we keep repeating the same thing over and over and over again, the only thing that should be boring is that, damn, what's up with us? We didn't get it. Like, why we gotta constantly be warned about these other gods? And we're all sitting here and what? It's the same thing. The problem is this, we look at this and we read it, and you kind of like get religious. I don't have no other God in my house. I don't have no image in my house. But your God might be your pride. Your God might be a woman. Your God might be a man. So we gotta see that you gotta think and understand, damn, how do I stop being what the Most High warned us continually over and over not to be? So don't be naive. Don't act like, don't tell yourself you're pure. Right? Remind yourself that, nah, I get in this mode to where this, whatever that is before the Father. Right? And that becomes your power. That becomes your God. So we got to stop it. That should be boring. I'm like, every time we read this, we're like, damn, here we go again. Same story again. Israel falls back because they worship something before the Most High. What's that?
When you just said that, I thought about how, like, when you trying to, like, you don't want to hear a song, but, like, you don't know, I mean, like, you're not trying to learn the words of the song, but it keeps playing over and over and over again, and it's like, I didn't like the song at first, but now I know all the words to the song.
Right.
I feel like that's what kind of is happening
with the reason.
With Israel. Like,
Yeah. Right, it's either you learn the new song, like it says in Revelations, or you learn the old song, which is here we go again. This ass whooping's gonna happen again. Or you can learn the new song of, as for me and my house, we're gonna serve the Lord. See, but that's why I understand why it's important for the repetitiveness. Being repetitive. It's constantly, every Shabbat, repetitive. And I realize it more and more how when I was young, coming to Sabbath class, at a certain age, a lot of things were cloudy, the history, the understanding, the content of the individuals. And then it was about, 18. When I hit 18, it's like, oh, damn. Everything that was going through the past years start making sense and start lining up. So it's like a child. You think, oh, they're not getting it. They're getting it. They're getting it. Like all the toddlers, bro, they be watching. And then they emulate right after. They're going to emulate what they learn. It's weird. I got a lot of kids. But this one, little Hamas, all this guy does is he like sits there when I'm eating. He goes like this. He looks at me and he watches my mouth and he goes. I never seen that. That's weird. He just copies and goes. So he's emulating me eat. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. But it just reminds me that he's watching everything. So he's gonna pick up on everything, and we have to start understanding what did we pick up on.
Yeah.
What are we learning?
Yeah.
So it's good for the kids to constantly be here, because whether they will hear or forbear. When they go out there in the world, the ass whooping is going to reveal. And they're going to say, damn, I remember the Most High telling me this. And this is how it's imprinted in their mind and their heart, being repetitive. Practice. Yeah. You had something?
No.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. You got it.
Okay.
Verse 24. And the people said unto Joshua, the Lord our God will we serve, and his voice will we obey. So Joshua made a covenant with the people that day, and set them a statute and an ordinance in Shechem. And Joshua wrote these words in the book of the law of God, and took a great stone and set it up there under an oak that was by the sanctuary of the Lord. And Joshua said unto all the people, behold, this stone shall be a witness unto us, for it hath heard all the words of the Lord which he spake unto us.
Right. Yeah, so that we don't, go back. This is like the crescent of us being like, we made an agreement. You agree that you want to serve the Lord? Yes. Okay. You agree down. Okay, I'm gonna write this down so I can have this with y'all. This is a moment that we wrote. This is a testament. This is the testimony, the written testimony of this agreement that we had that we will serve the Lord as we move forward. I'm passing away. That means you're gonna continue in doing what you said you was gonna do with the Most High, which is serve Him. So this stone is gonna be that signet of memorial. Read.
It shall be therefore a witness unto you, lest ye deny your God.
Can I read this part? I told y'all about this. This is the chronological Bible, but it gives some history. It gives some good points of history in there. This is good. Like, Mawala, y'all kids that are learning this fake history and they're leaving out or making it seem like the Bible is not a historical book. That's why I like bringing these points out. So it says in here, I can't say the word now. Archaeology and the past. Archaeologicus excavations reveal that such Canaanite cities as Bethel or Beth Shemesh were flourishing urban cultures. Houses were built with the paved floors, and cities had public drainage systems and fortified walls. Sophisticated pottery, art, jewelry, and statues of gods are found in large number. The pottery and other goods discovered suggest that the trade with Syria, Egypt, and the Aegean flourished. Stone bowls from ancient Egypt were found in ruins, attesting to a trade in antiquities. So this was a real place. This was about, it says here, 1200 to 930 BC. The conquest of Canaan under Joshua is pictured as a united effort by the Israelite people. So just showing you that when they're digging up these different places in the Bible, they're finding the archaeological evidence of these people. It's not, the Bible's a fictitious book and Shakespeare wrote it. You know what I mean? You hear that madness. Oh, Shakespeare, a white guy in the 70s wrote the Bible.
Right.
You hear all kind of madness. This is literal people, archaeology, anthropology, ethnology, that goes back to the people, right? Very important. So it can't be voided out, right? And that's what that's the good thing about science. And the archaeology. It all shows that, wait, the Most High Israel. You're just throwing a note in there that, oh, this just happened some other way. That's the only thing. So just certain points that we you gotta know. All right, go ahead.
Where you at, Ahara? Verse 28.
Verse 28. So Joshua let the people depart, every man unto his inheritance. And it came to pass after these things that Joshua, the son of Nun, the servant of the Lord, died, being 110 years old.
110 years old. That's long. Well, I mean, to the Most High, it's not really long. But for us, that's long. Because we barely get past 23 now. Through gun violence, through diet, right? Past 30 if it's diet, right? Past 23 if it's gun violence.
God damn.
Yeah. So like that's crazy. Because nowadays when they going in the mall and they get these T-shirts for these dead kids, it's like teenagers. It's teenagers and people that's like 19, 20. So it's really not I don't see a lot of grown like men on these dead shirts or grown women.
Oh wow.
I see teenagers on the
Very
dead
good
shirts.
point. Very good point. Wow.
Yeah, so it's like he's living 110, but what they say about wisdom prolongs your days and long life. It gives you longevity on a diet aspect and on just dealing with people so that you don't get into these violent altercations and not know how to diffuse them.
Right.
You know, before it becomes physical. So that's a key thing to be aware of the number.
God dang.
Right? His favorite verse. What's your favorite verse?
Scary.
Aaron's favorite verse in the songs?
I built more.
Huh?
I built more. You gotta be more specific.
Kind of the one about prolonging your days. Teach me the number of my days.
Psalm chapter 90 verse 12.
Yeah, that one real quick.
So teach us to number our days that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom.
Yeah. And that's what it is. That's what we got to see when we see Joshua and Moses, and then we read these numbers like he lives to 100, he lived 900, he lived 800, he lived this amount of numbers of years. It's because of this verse right here.
God. So, chapter 90, verse 12. So teach us to number our days.
Yeah. Teach us how to deal with people, how to live peaceably, how to create peace, and how to maintain it. And then teach us how to be moderate in our diet. Read.
That we may apply our hearts.
So what?
Wisdom.
You apply your heart. Care about it. Right? Yearn for it, desire it, and keep it close to you. Read.
Come. Return, O Lord. How long? And let me repent.
Oh, was that verse after?
Come.
Yeah, just that 10, just that 10th verse. So that was it basically. Just teaching us to number our days. Look at him, he numbered his days. His days was calculated. From the time that he met Moses, which was he met Moses around like he was 40. He was dealing with Moses when he was in his 40s, no? Or was he young?
You're talking about
Joshua.
We gotta have to check it.
Okay,
Check it.
Yeah, double check. I'm gonna double check that. But he was basically from that time, that point where he met Moses to 110.
The word you're using,
Met, you got to see that these cats grew up around them.
Oh, con.
Yeah. I see what you're saying, but that Met is like he just popped up. Nah, he was growing up around them.
I'm thinking about us. I'm thinking about us as I'm talking. Let me separate the two. They was around each other. All that time that they was around each other and around the wisdom, you know, and then him to that point where he reached it when the Most High put a spirit in him, and he locked in. He been calculating his days, making sure that he spent each day like with purpose. Think about it, that's 110 days, 110 years of purposeful living. That's grand. We got what? Kids dying at 19 that lived vain lives.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they literally lived to just die. They lived, they was birthed, and then their mom celebrated them for the moment of joy when they came out the womb, and they died.
You said that right, Ak. You don't see old people on the picture.
No.
That's true, Ak.
That just hit me because I was like, man, I don't see old people on these shirts. And the older people look younger than the younger people. So it's like this like backwards clock going on. So, but read on. That's the key one.
Verse 30. And they buried him in the border of his inheritance and Timnath, Serah, which is in Mount Ephraim, on the north side of the hill of Gaash. And Israel served the Lord all the days of Joshua and all the days of the elder that overlived Joshua, and which had known all the works of the Lord that he had done for Israel.
And it's wording it that way for a reason, though. And we're going to find out as we go to Judges, which had known all the works of the Lord. Read.
Verse 32. And the bones of Joseph, which the children of Israel brought up out of Egypt, buried they in Shechem.
That's valuable. You know, you could read past this. Oh, they buried bones. Oh, wow. No, he wanted that. He wanted that, but they fulfilled the request. They didn't drop his bones off nowhere, so they fulfilled the request. Meaning what? We took care of our dead. Right? We gave them the proper burial. Right? And we cared about our people, whether living or dead. Right? Because we know that the saints, the dead saints, their tears are dying. They're crying. They're crying. They waited to see us what? Come out of the dirt. They waited to see us come out of the mire that we're in right now. They waited to see those dry bones live. Right? They want to see the kingdom come. So you don't know, like, you know, I mean, think about it, you don't know if you're the 144,000, you don't know if you're the 130. But like, you don't know if you're going to be the one that might spark that 144,000 brother, or that 130. But, so what do you want to be used for? Right? You might you might be able to say 2 words that'll get somebody going. That'll get somebody to change the whole trajectory of their life. What effect you want to have on them? You got to ask yourself. We got to ask ourselves that. Like, I think about the brother that just lived simply to say that, oh, this is the Messiah. This is he who is the Messiah. And how the Spirit revealed to him that he was going to do that and he wasn't going to die until he said that this was the Messiah. Right. What words you want to import to somebody before you pass away? Wisdom or complaints? Wisdom or the situation ain't what I want it to be? Wisdom or is just me and myself and I? Like, what do you want to import? What do you want to import to your kids before you pass? Because we don't know when we're going to pass, right? It's so real. That hit me hard. I was thinking about that yesterday. I was thinking about that yesterday night. I woke up this morning, I opened my eyes, I thought about that. Like, what do you want to give to somebody? And then me sitting down here before we Sabbath class, I was reading it, and then it just hit me. Because I was looking at the reading, I was like, damn, what you want to import to somebody? Because it hit me. Make sure you working on what you got to work on so that you can be able to give something before you pass. You never know when you're going to pass, right? And then you want to be able to fulfill your covenant that you make with the Lord. Because I know internally you make your prayers to the Most High and you say, I'm going to do this, Yahweh, for the nation, for the body, for the brothers and sisters, right? And I'm going to make sure I clean myself up, you know? And when you say, I can speak for myself, right? Where I know before, when I was graduating high school, I was in a scenario, I told the Lord, listen, you take me out of this scenario, I'm going to move away from my family, I'm going to move away from my brothers and sisters. Listen, I'll do whatever you want me to do. I'll move from state to state if that's what you want, and I'll teach the word. He called my captain the very next day, right? He called my number. The very next day, I'm walking out the room, I'm about to go to work, my sister followed me like real quick behind me. She said, what you think about moving to Memphis? I said, oh, snap. Come. I was just like, yeah, because I knew that the Lord was moving to pieces. And then it led me to where I ended up being in Houston. But I had to act on what I told the Lord I was going to do. And I'm still building the blocks of getting to that point where you need to be. But I'm saying that to say, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? And then what you say in your spirit to the Most High that you haven't said to brothers and sisters out loud that you was going to do.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, calm. It's like, what are you sitting there meditating on? Like, I want to do this, Yahweh. And Yahweh's putting you in a position. He makes somebody say something to you, but then you shy away from it. You shy away from it when the person presents it to you. What is that moment that you're having? What are those moments? Fulfill your word. They fulfilled the word for Joseph. You see that? Whoever had that conversation with him, and then they delivered it to the brother. This is what Joseph wanted. They fulfilled the request, right? And then they passed it on to the person. Let's say they passed away. They passed it on to the next person. Make sure this happened. That person kept their word. Make sure it happened. That person kept their word up until this moment. So we're not just reading about just dead bones.
Yeah, that's dope.
Calm.
That's dope.
Calm. So, but read on.
Calm.
That's heavy.
They buried him. Buried they in Shechem, in a parcel of ground which Jacob bought for the sons of Hamor, the father of Shechem, for 100 pieces of silver. And it became the inheritance of the children of Joseph. And Eleazar, the son of Aaron, died, and they buried him in a hill that pertained to, how do you say it? Phinehas, his son, which was given him in Mount Ephraim.
Yeah, that's the end of Joshua. That was his declaration. That's a heavy final word, a final statement.
No, sir.
Oh, you read the Judges 1 and 3, right? Judges 1 and 3, yeah. That's a heavy final statement. Go ahead, Honorable.
Judges, chapter 1, verse 1.
So this is the book of Judges. Read.
Now, after the death of Joshua, it came to pass.
So now Joshua is dead at this point. Joshua is no longer alive, right? At this point. Read. Oh, you got something?
That the children of Israel asked the Lord, saying, who shall go up for us against the Canaanites?
Right, I gotta say this verse. Isaiah 6 and 8. The car pulled this verse about 3 Sabbaths ago. I like this verse, man. This one hit me. I like this verse, man. He pulls this verse, and this verse stuck with me now. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 6, verse 8. Also, I heard the voice of the Lord.
They asking the Lord who's going to stand up for us, right? But shouldn't they be looking internal and being like, I want to be able to stand up for my people?
Right.
So this is what the Lord is saying to us. This is where our mind is supposed to be now. In order, going through the proper steps, Hebrews 5 and 12, for when the time you ought to be taught, you need a teacher to teach you again. With that going in mind too, right? Read.
Saying, whom shall I send? And who will go for us? Then said I.
Who?
Then said I.
You're supposed to be saying this to yourself as a brother, right? As a sister. You're supposed to be saying this to yourself. I Yahweh, I will stand up for you against the evildoers, right? Just like that evil angel was trying to persuade. He's like, I'll do it, Yahweh. Right. That evil angel was ready to do his job, but you got to be ready to do your job in a righteous sense. I'll do it, Yahweh. Right? We all got things that we've been saying that we're going to do, that we've been putting off from day to day. Right? And we got to we got to get away from that. We got to get away from that spirit, because that's the spirit that's causing you to cower away or shy away from saying I. That's why you don't want to say I, because you know you're playing around with spirits. Right? And don't put off from day to day anymore. We gotta stop putting off from day to day so that we can say I, and we can say it boldly in the spirit of righteousness. Read.
Here am I. Send me.
Here am I. Listen, y'all, you don't see me? You didn't hear that prayer last night? I'm at the brother's door early at 6. He told me to come at 8.
Like we went over yesterday, that if there be first a willing mind, it is acceptable according to what thou hast, and not what you don't have. He wants it out of your heart.
Yeah.
Right? But there got to be a willing mind. This cannot be forced. It cannot be coached.
Yeah.
It cannot. We can dance and sing right here with the band and all that, but it's got to be a willing mind for a man or woman to step up to that plate.
That's the key nutrient right there. That's the key nutrient for the eye to come up. Read.
Verse 9.
Oh, I don't know. Silly, man. Go ahead.
And he said, go and tell his Slakia.
And the Lord said, I'm not stopping you. I ain't never been stopping you. You've been stopping you. You've been making yourself powerless, but I'm trying to make you powerful. Read.
And tell this people, hear ye indeed.
Hear you what?
Hear ye indeed.
Listen attentively. Sit down. Stop what you're doing. Stop being idle and thinking that you're busy. Right? Stop standing up during class, acting like you gotta use the bathroom, but you need to sit down and listen to class. Right? Stop trying to go mess around with the kids. The kid's good. There's a sister back there already. Right? Stop trying to go on the phone, call a brother. Brother, you're missing the key points. He's like, sit down, read. Read.
But understand not.
Yeah, he's like, you gotta hear it deep. You gotta hear it deep with the things that you don't understand. And start trying to put the effort to comprehend it. Read.
And see ye indeed.
But you gotta start trying to see what you're doing. Because what? Read.
But perceive not.
But you're not perceiving. You have to start sitting down while you're in class, trying to learn. Get the understanding so that your perception can change. So that you can actually stand up and say, here, my Lord. Right? Like you told Samuel, here I am, Lord. So when the Lord calls your number, you're ready. But you got to be like that key nutrient, willing mind. The willing mind got to be there. They're looking for somebody else to just do it, do the work for them, right? Instead of standing up the right way. So, but let's jump back to the reading. The key in that scripture is, let's stand up the right way, and let's come with that willing mind. Don't just look for somebody else to do it. You got to put the footwork into it. Read.
Who shall go up for us against the Canaanites first, to fight against them? And the Lord said, Judah shall go up. Behold, I have delivered the land into his hand. Verse 3.
Didn't it stop at verse 1?
No, 3.
Oh, okay.
Come.
Just go ahead.
Yeah.
Verse 3. And Judah said unto Simeon, his brother, come up with me unto my lot, that we may fight against the Canaanites.
Yeah, so Judites and Simeonites went up and fought. Read. They stood up. Go ahead.
And I likewise will go with thee unto thy lot. So Simeon went with him.
Oh, come.
Montezara, Shabbat Yahawada, Ban Yashala.
Montezara, Shabbat Yahawada, Ban Yashala, Machu, Barak.
Yahawah Shimei Shabrakathum.
Yahawah Shimei Shabrakathum. This is the third reader. These are Judges chapter 1, verses 4, all the way to the 21st verse.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you got it.
Third reader, Judges chapter 1, the 4th verse, all the way to the 21st verse. All right? Everybody there? Montezara, proceed.
Judges chapter 1, verse 4. And Judah went up, and the Lord delivered the Canaanites and the
Perizzites.
Perizzites.
Sounds like parasite, but it's parasites.
Perizzites into their hand. And they slew them in Berzek. 10,000 men. And they found Adonai Berzek and Berzek. And they fought against him, and they slew the Canaanites and the Perizzites. And Adonai Berzek fled, and they pursued after him and caught him and cut off his thumbs and his great toes.
The Lord ain't playing with him.
Made that man.
Right? Give me that toe, man. That toe that you dipped to Baal. Give me that toe, man. You ain't doing that with that. Return it back to the owner. Verse 7. Verse 7.
And
Adonai-Bezek.
And Adonai-Bezek said, 70 kings, having their thumbs and great toes cut off, gather their meat under my table, as I have done. So God hath required me, and they bought.
Quit me.
So what happened is, the reason why Joshua did it, because that's what Adonai-Bezek did. He got these kings and he did the same thing to them. He's saying the Most High paid me back for that. Right? What's your question?
I just wanted to know who the Perizzites were and who Adonai was.
So these were Canaanite, first verse. Third verse. He went up against the Canaanites. Verse 4. And Judah went up, and the Lord delivered the Canaanites, the Perizzites. Right? So these were Canaanites. And they found Adonai, and when you know that in Hebrew means the Lord of Bezek. Right? So that's what they were. They were Canaanites. They're Africans, Hamites. Yeah. That all go back to, when you get a chance, Genesis 10, right? It goes through the Shem, Ham, and Japhet. And then it goes through Ham and show you that these Canaanites, right? So these were Africans, right? Go ahead.
So God hath acquired me.
Requite me. That means to pay back. Go ahead.
And they brought him to Jerusalem. And there he died. Now the children of Judah had fought against Jerusalem. And they
Right, so Jerusalem was, but this is before we took over the land. This is before we took over the land. So remember, okay, nowadays, those people over there are not the true Hamites. So it's not the same thing like, oh, this war's been going on for a long time, because these ain't the original people over there. Those people in Gaza, those people in Israel, we know the scriptures say the heathen possess thine inheritance. They're not the people, but these Hamites, right? I'm looking at this map right here today, timeline map. It's just disgusting, man. The white man is so great on painting history his way. And it's not the history of the writing in here, it's just the pictures. Everybody's Caucasian. Everybody. Adam, Eve, the Hamites, the Shemites, the Japhites, everybody is Caucasian. And you leave it up to them, you can't picture what really is going on because they depict the people in the wrong way. So when you look at the Hamites, we know, according to the history, the Bible, that they're dark-skinned people. So you got dark-skinned people going against, and they're African people. So if you go back and you look at the African people, right, we can see that, oh, these people over there ain't Hamites. Some of them are probably Egyptians. A lot of them are Egyptians. Some of them are Muslim, Arabs, right? It's a mixture. It's a mixture of people over there. So just to kind of put it in context as we read about us taking this land, this is when the Most High promises us. We're taking it over, and little by little, you got straggler kingdoms that we gotta subdue, right? Go ahead.
And had taken it and smit it with the edge of the sword.
Right, smitten. Go ahead.
And set the city on fire. And afterward, the children of Judah went down to fight against the Canaanites that dwelled in the mountain and in the south and in the valley. And Judah went against the Canaanites that dwelt in Hebron.
See, these are all African nations. Go to you can go to your Zondervan, but let's go just shoot for her. Jump back to Genesis 10 real quick. Give me that. Where my? Oh, he's up. Oh, moving. Go to Genesis 10. Genesis 10, and let's read that. Where's that at, Ash? Genesis 10, and let's go to Ham for 6.
Genesis chapter 10 and verse 6.
Yeah.
And the son of Ham, Cush.
Right. The son of Ham is Cush, which we know as the Ethiopians. And that's documented. This isn't like, oh, you Hebrew Israelites came up with that. No, it's documented that these are the Ethiopians. I'm even on this map right here, they tell you. They tell you they're the Ethiopians. Right? It goes through Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now, the one they're not going to put on there correct is they try to say, and this is a lot of history books, because remember, the white man wants to be hid. So they try to say the sons of Japheth are the Edomites. The lands are Edomite lands, Turkey, Greece, Rome. That's where Edomites dwell now. But the original inhabitants of Japheth are not the Edomites. Because we know the white people come from who? Pause, awkward pause. Awkward pause. Who the white man come from? Who?
The progenitor of Esau.
Okay, but who is that? Hold on 1 second. We can't talk over each other. What? Go ahead. They come from Isaac. Right? So the white man don't come from Japheth. He don't come from Japheth. He comes from Isaac and Rebekah. Right? So my point is this. It says, if you go to your Zondervan Pictorial Bible Dictionary, it's going to tell you who the people that come from Ham, Shem, and Japheth, right? Okay, go ahead.
And Mizraim.
And Mizraim.
And Mizraim.
Right, Mizraim. Y'all know who that is? Who's that? Sit down. You think too much. Who is it?
The Egyptians.
Mizraim is the Egyptians. So the Egyptians are a African people. I know you had it. Right. The Egyptians are an African people. So go ahead.
And Put
are the people are African people. Those are the Libyans. Right? Go ahead.
And Canaan.
And see, in that, you know what's crazy? It just hit me. You think the Libyans are what? Well, the land of Libya right now is inhabited by who? Arabs. So you can get that mixed up and be like, oh yeah, the Libyans. No, the original people that inhabit Libya, or the Libyans were Hamitic, right? Not Arabs. Remember, that's another thing there. The Arabs come from who? Who? Ishmael. Who was the father of Ishmael? Who? Abraham. See, they don't even fall in this line of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. They would be Shemitic, excuse me. But they're going back to Abraham through that line. So, you see how it's easy to mix things up because there's so many nations that migrated. There's so many nations that were displaced, right? So you got people in lands that are not the original people, like us. We're in America, but this isn't our land, right? So you got a lot of Arabs in African lands and things of that nature and adopted the names. But the true Gazans, Philistines, are not Arabs. They're not Arabs. Okay, go ahead.
And the sons of Cush, Sebet.
And the sons of Cush, Seba
and Havilah.
And Havilah, right? Y'all heard about these lands and the rivers and stuff like that. Go ahead.
And Sabata.
And Sheba. I'm sorry, Septica. Septica, go ahead.
And
Ramah.
And
and Sheba, and Dedan. Go ahead.
And to the sons of Rahama, Sheba and
Dedan. Okay, number 8. Come on.
And Cush begat Nimrod.
Right, and Cush. So once again, Nimrod is an Ethiopian. So you see this, sis? You got the people of Ham. And then if you jump down, just to run through it real quick, you go to verse 13. It says, and Mizraim begat, go ahead.
Ledim. And Nimim.
Right.
And Lehavim. And
Neptuhim. Right. And then you jump to verse 15.
And Canaan begat.
I'm sorry. We can't skip 14. Go ahead.
And Pethrisim.
And
Casluhim.
Of
whom came
Philistim. There we go. So the Philistines. So all these, going back what we're reading, these are just Hamitic people. They're Africans. African people. And we know the true Africans are those cats in Africa. That's how Africans look. Right? They're not what the hell they're talking about today. They're Philistines, they're not the true Philistines. Right? What's his name? God damn. The guy that David killed, Goliath. The guy that David killed, he was a straight Hamite, African. Philistine, you see that? Okay. Who just had their hand? Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's off topic, but where it said Nimrod was a mighty hunter, does that have any connection to when it says Esau was a mighty hunter? Or
No. No. Yeah, Esau. Nah. I mean, they both men in the field, but not really no connection. Right? Now we can talk about their how they moved in that sense, right? Their logic being men of the field, right? Warriors, because Nimrod was a good warrior, and Esau is a damn good warrior. He's a beast. Like he's a good warrior because he's a man of the field. He likes that hunt, right? So from that perspective, but y'all get this. You get this, sis? See, and then you jump down to verse 19. Come on, Walter.
Verse 19.
And
the border of the Canaanites was from Sidon.
Zidon.
And as thou comest to
Gera.
Unto Gaza.
Unto where?
Gaza.
The Hamites dwelt in Gaza. You see that? This is why y'all got to be skilled in reading. Take time out and study. You can break off, like they don't know people don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're dealing with. So you fighting over a land that's not yours. Both of you, Israelis and Gazans. That's not your land at all, right? And the original Gazans, the original Philistines, were Hamitic, not these Arabic. I just watched a whole speech on the way here, but the president of Iran, what he was talking about. He made a point to say the Arabic Muslims, the Arab Muslims. He knows they're Arabic. They're not Hamitic. But if you're not tuned in with history, you won't pick that up. You're thinking, well, yeah, those people have been over there. No, those people migrated over there. And then you got the other people that migrated over there, and they're fighting for something that's not theirs. All the plan of the Father, by the way. All the plan of the Most High. Because how else was he going to show the world and us that peace was not going to be in the Middle East until the people of the Lord get there? It had to be set up this way for these heathens to be fighting over something that's not theirs. So y'all see how I did that? Straight up showing us that what? These people in that land are not the true people. But also answering your question, these are Hamites. All right, jump back to Judges.
God. Now the name of Hebron was Kirjath Arabah.
Uh-huh.
And they slew Shishai. Wait, is that it?
Shishai. Uh-huh.
Shishai and Harimah.
What? And Ahaman.
Ahaman. And Talmai.
Uh-huh.
And from thence he went against the inhabitants of Deborah. And the name of Deborah before was
Kajaf Safar.
Kajaf Shabar.
Safar.
Safar.
Uh-huh.
And Caleb said, he that smiteth
Kajaf Safar.
Kajaf Shafar and taketh it to him will give Aksha, my daughter to wife. If you take this land, I'm going to give you my daughter. Read. And
yeah. I can't hear you. We're at Judges, the 1st chapter, and the 14th verse. Go ahead.
And Othniel.
What verse? I'm sorry, it's 13.
13.
And Othniel,
the son of
Kenzah,
Caleb's younger brother.
Okay, note this. I got him like above my little theme right here. Note this. Othniel, the son of Kenzah, Caleb's younger brother, go ahead.
Took it.
Uh-huh.
And he gave him Aksa, his daughter, to wife.
Right. So, Onithel was one of the first judges after Joshua. Okay? He was one of the first judges. There was 1, 2, I think it's 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 14. There was 14 judges. 3, yeah. 14 judges. So he was the first one. All right, go ahead.
And it came to pass when she came to him that she moved him to ask of her father, ask of her father a field. And she lighted from off her ass. And Caleb said unto her, what wilt thou? And she said unto him, give me a blessing, for thou hast given me for thou hast given me a south land. Give me also springs of water. And Caleb gave her the upper springs.
Right, and obviously after Caleb. So I should have put that in there. Onithel, I'm saying that right. Othniel, right after Caleb's brother, or Caleb, excuse me. Go ahead.
And Caleb gave her the upper springs and the nether springs, and the children of the Canaanite,
the children of the Kenite.
Moses.
So look up who are the Kenites. So this is part of that studying, especially nowadays, because people want to play semantics with everything, right? So you got to kind of know the little details. It just can't be a vague reading. Can't just be a vague reading. Like we just read it and then you don't know who the hell that is. And then it's going to come up. Well, who's this? Who's that? Just like the sister just asked, right? Who are these people? Well, we got to know that. You're trained to be scholars, not religious people. All right? What the Kenites? The Kenite. What y'all got? What you got? Go ahead.
The Kenites, Alexander.
Yeah.
One of the 10 tribes of Canaan in the time of Abraham.
So once again, who? Canaan, which are who? Who did we just read? Ham, the sons of Ham, which are who? Today they're known as who? Africans. Y'all got that? Okay, Kenites, Africans. Check. Right, go ahead.
Moses' father-in-law.
So Moses had 2 women, right? He had, his first woman was a what? No. Yeah, no, I want it, but I'm trying to give them a little second, because I know you're going to run through this. You're studious, you be studying. So Moses' first woman, say it out loud.
Midianite.
Moses' first woman was a Midianite. Okay? And I think the Midianites, we can double check that, but I think, weren't they, like, Arab people? We can double check that. And then his second woman, remember, that's her and Aaron was running their mouth against Moses? Right? What? She was no, of course. No, she was a Canaanite. Right, the second one. The second one was like, she was Ham. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the first one. Okay, so the Midianite woman, and then he had an Ethiopian woman, or what it's telling us here, she was basically Hamite. Her father, his father-in-law. Now, check this out, though. Check this out. This is going to be some good content right here. Go ahead, read on.
Went up out of the city of palm trees with the children of Judah.
Okay, read it again.
Con. From the top one.
16.
Yes, sir. And the children of the Kenite, Moses' father-in-law, went up out of the city of palm trees with the children of Judah into the wilderness of Judah, which lieth in the south of Arabah.
So now you got them among us because his father-in-law, because his rib. You see how these Hamites being around us were deterrents from us. And I know you're like, well, the Most High allowed that. Yeah, he allowed that. But as we read on in Judges, you're going to see what happened to it. Because we didn't listen through Judges and what's the word? Exterminate them? That they were a hindrance to us. Go ahead.
And they went and dwelt amongst the people.
Right.
And Judah went with Simeon, his brother, and they slew the Canaanites that inhabited Zephath. Did I say that right?
Zephath?
Zephath. And utterly destroyed it. And the name of the city was called Hormah.
Hormah.
Hormah. Also, Judah took Gaza.
Judah took Gaza, right? So this is us. We had that land after we took them out. Gaza was ours. That whole strip, the whole Israel. Remember, if you look at that little strip, that was all Israel. Right? But what they do is they started chopping pieces off. And, oh, this is Israel. This portion. Oh, and then they start moving the original, like Solomon's temple and all that. They start moving that around.
Right.
So that's what you got when the heathen went in. But this is crazy. This is important because we're literally talking about in the world today, 2,000 years later, we're still dealing with this land that is not theirs, that they're trying to assume. But this is showing you how we got Gaza, how the land was ours. Y'all get this? Go ahead.
Also, Judah took Gaza with the coast thereof. And Ashkelon.
Now, if y'all Google, watch. If you Google what's crazy, Google Jerusalem, or Israel, a map of Israel. So if you Google that, y'all, and you look on this map, if you look towards, so you got Gaza. See, that's what they did. Look, if you look at that map and you Google it, bro, they got the West Bank in there, right? The west bank goes all the way from Hebron, Bethlehem, Jericho, all that right there is called the West Bank. But that was Jerusalem. That was Israel. That was all of ours still. See, then of course, if you look at Jerusalem, they got all these other names there. But I was going to show you where Ashkelon is. Where the heck is that in this map? Y'all see it on y'all map?
It's right above Gaza.
Oh, Ashkelon. Oh, yeah, there you go. Ashkelon, and they still got that. That still is there. It's right above, you said right above Gaza?
Right under
Ashkelon.
Oh, right under, yeah, Ashkelon. Oh, they spelled it different. So y'all see that? So this is all that land that we took. Go ahead.
And Ascalon with the coast thereof. And Ekron with the coast thereof. And the Lord was with Judah. And he drove out the inhabitants of the mountain, but could not drive out the inhabitants of the valley, because they had chariots of iron. And they gave Hebron unto Caleb, as Moses said, and he expelled thence the 3 sons of Anak.
Right. So these are what? Hamites, Africans. Go ahead.
And the children of Benjamin did not drive out the Jebusites that inhabited Jerusalem.
Right.
But the Jebusites dwelt with the children of Benjamin.
See, that's a problem, y'all. So you got Hamites still in Jerusalem. You see that? See what happens when you still. So this is why. What is it? Nathan Ben what the hell is the president name? Jesus Christ. Yeah, that I can never say his name. Yeah, that guy, right? See, truthfully, he got the idea right. We got to exterminate the people. And I know you're like, that's insincere. Listen, y'all got to read your Bible. Like, he's literally on point. Regardless of what they're saying, they were supposed to exterminate the whole people. But that ain't going to happen. The Most High is not letting it. This is not the ancient days. We're 2,000 years later. It is what it is. Their time is coming to an end, right?
Yeah.
But ideally, yes, they were supposed to take out these people out of the land. But what happens is, it's the same thing. Now we see what happens when you let them in the land. Right? You let them in the land. What is going on now? You got Israelis. See, a lot of things they're not showing is Israelis evicting a lot of these Gazans out of the land of Israel. I was looking at one thing. This Arab was born in Israel. He was born in Jerusalem. He said when he left, he couldn't get back in. He said, you can't get back in. They won't let him back in because what they're trying to do is dispel all of the Gazans. Right? We didn't do that, so they stuck around these Hamite nations, and that's why you see as we read on, wars and rumors of wars back and forth. Right? Because we let them be around their gods, their idols, all these things, and we fell to them in some way. Right? Yeah, sympathizers. Right? Go ahead, read on.
Dwelled with the children of Benjamin.
Right.
In Jerusalem unto this day. In the house of Joseph, they also went up against Bethel, and the Lord was with them.
That was it? All right, next brother.
Natzazak Hanakah, Shabbat Yahweh, Banya Shalom.
Natzazak Hanakah, Shabbat Yahweh, Banya Shalom. I want you, right?
Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua Barakatum.
You did good. All right, year number 4. All right, we getting through this, y'all. We getting through it. Hopefully this first chapter kind of gives us a lot more context when dealing with what is going on today in this world. Crazy, huh? How the Bible gives you like 2,000 year old how beef started. And technically it wasn't with those people, but you can see how the Most High keeps it bubbling in that land till the earth is brought to this peace that's needed. Peace in the Middle East. Oh man, y'all gotta listen to this speech I just heard, man. What it was the Iranian president, and he was, reminding all the Muslim countries, the Arab countries, to stick with the Gazans. This is finna get beefy, y'all.
Wow.
World War III has officially started. Go back and do a little look at how World War II started.
Yeah.
It didn't start out with just straight up nuke, 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 nuke. It started out just like this. It started out just like this. And people didn't want to take sides with Germany. Right? They didn't want to take sides. They didn't want to condemn what he was doing. And there was a reluctancy there until it escalated to the point and that everybody was involved. Right? And that's what you got now. You got nations that are getting involved. Bro, they just blew up. America just hit Syria, a spot in Syria that Hezbollah was supposed to be working through Iran. Bro, this is getting delicious.
Yeah.
It's getting delicious and scary. We got to pay attention, y'all. Come on.
Judges chapter 1 and verse 23.
In
the house of Joseph, sent to describe Bethel. Now the name of the city before was Luz. And the spies saw a man come forth out of the city. And they said unto him, shew us, we pray thee, the entrance into the city, and we will shew thee.
So you see that a lot of times. Like during the time of Joshua, during the time of Moses, right? That you got another individual that they're going to buy, right? Or that they're going to promise something to. One thing that is consistent, that we kept our word, though. It's crazy. We kept our word, but we didn't listen, not to make any treaties, any covenants. And that's where you start seeing why our land never became fully at peace. These Hamites, these Africans were constantly around us. Yeah. Go ahead.
And we will shew thee mercy.
Right.
Verse 25.
And we will do what?
Shew thee mercy.
You sympathizing, bro. Why you making that promise? See, we will show thee mercy. Go ahead.
And when he shewed them the entrance into the city, they smote the city with the edge of the sword. But they let go the man and all his family. And the man went into the land of the Hittites and built a city and called the name thereof Luz, which is the name thereof unto this day.
Right. See? So now you got, listen, back in the days, and I was meditating on this as well, the only one that concedes to failure, the only one that concedes to slavery is the Israelites, the true Israelites. Every other nation, they on that never back down. They on that Rocky, Rambo, we're first blood, we'll never give up. Right? Every time they bring up this situation with Israel, you know what they're saying? This has been happening for 70 years. They've been occupied for 70 years. And they're not forgetting. We're the only nation that forget. Forget, let go, get off of it, move on, right? And the world wants to forget. Gazans ain't forgetting. They're like, look, You Israelis, first of all, don't belong here. That's the underlining thing they know. You guys are Europeans that were brought over here. You don't belong here, right? And you guys been occupying us for how long? Right? So they get on the news and tell you straight out. If you guys are listening, they'll tell you straight out, this is not new. Right? I mean, so they're painting this picture, media is painting the picture that, oh, this is new, and the Gazans is spazzed out. But go and look at how the Gazans were being occupied, being evicted, being beat, right? Being killed, right? Being treated like crap. So even one of them said, if you keep kicking these dogs, they're going to bite back, right? So you have to see, man, that what the Most High is showing the world, the hypocrisy of the nations. It's not one nation. It's all the nations. They lie in their glory. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 27. Neither did Manasseh drive out the inhabitants of Bashan.
Right? See? So you got that. They didn't do what they were supposed to do. So you're not getting true peace. Go ahead.
And her towns. Nor Tanakh.
Right?
And her towns.
Right?
Nor the inhabitants of Dor and her towns. Nor the inhabitants of Abimelech and her towns. Right? Nor the inhabitants of Megiddo and her towns. But the Canaanites would dwell in that land. And it came to pass, when Yasharallah was strong, that they put the Canaanites to tribute, and did not utterly drive them out. Neither did Ephraim.
But they not forgetting. These Hamites ain't forgetting. They're waiting for the right time, and then they're going to what? Buck up, fight back. All the nations do that. I still remember, I got to start saving these and sending them out. But the guy said, what about if somebody came and occupied New York? He said, are you guys just going to say, oh, you know what? We concede? Hell no. Hell no. They're going to destroy New York before that happens, right? That's everybody except us. We're the only ones that bend over and take it. You know what I mean? All the other nations, they're going to fight. They're going to fight to the end of damn time, and they don't forget. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 29. Neither did Ephraim drive out the Canaanites that dwelt in Gezer, but the Canaanites dwelt in Gezer among them. Neither did Zebulun drive out the inhabitants of Kitron, nor the inhabitants of Nahalal, but the Canaanites dwelt among them and became tributaries.
Right, so what's happening here? They're among you, now you're doing what? Tributaries. That tributary, that slave became a what? She became your wife. Right? The servants, right, became your what? Now they there for how long? You see what's going on here? That's why now future, the Most High said no unclean thing is going to be in the land. Now you see why no other nations are going to be in Jerusalem. They're going to come to those gates. Right? And they're going to leave. They're going to give us things, but they're going to leave. They're not going to be in the city. Right? Go ahead.
Neither did Asher drive out the inhabitants of Akkad, nor the inhabitants of Zidon, nor of Alah, nor of Akzib, nor of Helbah, nor of Avik, nor of Rehob. But the Asherites dwelt among the Canaanites, the inhabitants of the land, for they did not drive them out. Neither did Naphtali.
Y'all see where this is going with this? Now, it's kind of more clear, right? Like what happens with them being among us and why it was constant battles leading up to who? The first king. Now you see why the contention was there, yeah.
Would you say that Moses was wrong for marrying the Cushite woman?
He wasn't wrong because the Most High didn't deem him wrong. Right?
Yes, because I went back and I looked at, I think it was like number 12 or something. When they were remembering against his decision to do that, but it did kind of introduce everyone dwelling together. So that's why I just wanted to know.
I agree. The point of the Most High coming in and reminding them, Miriam and Aaron, who the hell are y'all? Murmuring, right? And giving Miriam leprosy was to put them in their place. If the Most High was going to check Moses, he would have checked Moses. I mean, I think that's clear that he's doing all these things, and then Most High would have said, bruh, cast her out. Her and the bond, I mean, he told Abraham, cast out the bondwoman, right? So, it's evident and clear that the Most High was okay with it.
So it must have been like a plan.
It was. Because as we're reading, you start seeing, yeah, he was okay with that. But what that did is, it kind of gave way to Israel having these people among them. You know, even when we came out of Egypt, it said we came out with a mixed multitude. So you can imagine, you linking up with Egyptians. Now you got your woman of Egypt, right? That's why when you start going into Ezra, what happens? You can see that it was the same thing. In Ezra, they had to all come together and be like, okay, our women and our kids don't even know their identity. So we got to get all the brothers and sisters together, and we're going to count, and we're going to figure out the pedigree. And if you can't figure out the pedigree and it's not written, you got to cast them out. So they were, not only the pedigree, they were casting them out that were women of other nations, and kids too. So you can see how it got to that point. But did that stop it? No, because even after that, Israel was still doing what? They was getting these women. See, like the law, when you were supposed to get this woman as a servant, right? And you go to Deuteronomy, pare her nails, shave her head bald, right? She wasn't supposed to be like your beloved. She wasn't supposed to be you booed up with this chick now. She was supposed to be a slave. But that's what, over time, what happened. You're wifing these chicks, right? And giving them more power. And then you come up to the time of who? Solomon. You're wifing them. She's a concubine. But you what? You treat her like she got something to say. Like she got an opinion. Bro, you're a concubine. Right? And what happened to Solomon? He fell. So you can see historically what was going on, and we didn't get it over time. And was it? Yes, it was. It was, because the scripture said it. Did we read that where it says they become a... was that in Joshua where it said they become a snare, or is it? Am I thinking? I
think it's coming up.
It's in Judges, right? Yeah, we're gonna read it. We're gonna read it, y'all. Go ahead.
Verse 33. Neither did Naphtali drive out the inhabitants of Beth Shemesh,
right?
Nor the inhabitants of Bethanath, but he dwelt among the Canaanites, the inhabitants of the land. Nevertheless, the inhabitants of Beth Shemesh and of Bethanath became tributaries unto them. And the Amorites forced the children of Dan into the mountain, for they would not suffer them to come down to the valley. But
check that out. So you got that, because of all of this, now Dan can't even come out. They can't even go down into the valley because you left them there. So when the Most High gives you the order, stick to the order. Y'all should have just did what the Most High said. Don't have any covenants. Don't have any contracts. Don't marry their wives. Don't deal with them. Right? And that's the problem here. And then you're going to start seeing how this transcends through Judges all the way up. Go ahead.
But the Amorites will dwell in Mount Heres, and the Hilon, and the Shaalbim, yet the hand of the house of Joseph prevailed, so that they became tributaries. And the coast of the Amorites was from the going up to Akrabim, from the rock and upward. Judges chapter 2 and verse 1. And the angel of the Most High came up from Gilgal to Bochim, and said, I made you to go up out of Egypt, and have brought you unto the land which I swear unto your fathers. And I said, I will never break my covenant with you, and you shall make no league.
See? So what's the reminder? You shall what?
Make no league.
Go ahead.
With the inhabitants of this land.
Go ahead.
Ye shall throw down their altars, but ye have not obeyed my voice.
Okay. Y'all see it? That's the problem. That's what we got here. Okay. So Moses had that. But you were supposed to go on and not make any league with anybody else. Right? Okay, Moses got his 2 ribs. But from here on out, y'all are going to stop this. Don't make any leagues, any contracts with them. So, I mean, technically, it should have still went right. You would have shut down all his generations or anybody else and say, nah, bro. From here on out, you are not part of this. What?
It's beautiful. You can look at the fact that the Most High says he's not the author of confusion. And if he's ordained marriage, then divorce wasn't so from the beginning.
Right.
So that was the further authorization of Moses' marriage, right? And then when you got the people of the land that we were not to make contract with, we were not to marry, right? We were supposed to follow that and understand that if we did, it would become a snare and a trap. But we didn't remember that it was going to be a snare and a trap. We're forgetful hearers.
God? Yeah. Okay, read on.
God. Why have ye done this? Wherefore I also said, I will not drive them out from before you, but they shall be as thorns in your sides, and their gods shall be a snare unto you.
There you go. So that's the answer. Well, why? Why did he let that go on? This is the answer. Because you didn't listen. You didn't listen. Now they are what? A thorn and a snare to you. You got all these people, man, all these lands of Israel that you didn't fully establish, that these people cannot be a part of your community. And now, because they are a part of community, what do they bring in? Their logic, their thinking, how they raise their kids, how they worship their gods, how they function as a society. Where are the rules of the Canaanites? Where are the rules of the Canaanites, the laws and the things that govern them, the morality? They don't have it. The things that make you moral. Where's the moral law on how you deal with each other? Right? I keep telling you that this really hit me when I was watching the Vikings. And your guy, Floki, wanted to go set up his own community. I'm like, man, he can't do it. They can't do it because they don't have no brotherhood. They don't have no unity. The Vikings were like brutes, animals. They sleep with your wife. They will dishonor brotherhood. They didn't. They really didn't stick to their agreements, at least movie-wise, right? Movie-wise, but showing you that these nations got no government, no true moral laws. So you're among them, and what do? Well, it's the same thing today in America, which is what? You do what you feel. Don't let nobody judge you. You want to wear that? Girl, don't let nobody judge you. You want to lick that? Bruh, don't let nobody judge you. What you do behind doors is between you and it. Right? That's the logic of America. Right? And you what? Oh, this doesn't morally define my character when I do these things. Really? You really? Let's think about this. You sitting on a 40 bottle, that's not going to make somebody feel some type of way. Now, you just could walk around like everything's regular after sitting on a 40 bottle. Y'all know what the hell we're talking about. Like the world is perverted. And when you do perverted things, you're not just going to function in the right mind. So yes, what you do behind doors and your sexual orientation does define society. It does, because it changes the way you think. Anybody sit on a 40 bottle, you're going to feel some type of way.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm using that in a general sense. That's just one perverted thing that is fun in the bedroom. And you're thinking, well, this is not hurting nobody.
I thought you were talking about drinking.
No, I'm not talking about drinking. I'm talking about straight up perversion.
Oh my goodness.
I'm talking about all the sexual toys. I was on YouTube. Oh man. Let me not say that one. I was on YouTube. This chick had a bikini on at the beach, and she had a tattoo in the back of her lower back. It says, "I love A." No. She's walking around with this tattoo on her lower back.
Wow.
But that's what society promotes. And there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't pervert you. First of all, it perverts the way you feel and the way you judge things. And the reason I'm going into this is to show the kids, like, yes, all of this formulates your emotions, your ideas, and your logic.
Yeah.
There ain't no, I can do wickedness and it doesn't harm nobody. Yes, it does harm. And you see it, let's look at the fabric of America. Right? Homosexuality, drug dealers, not honoring marriage, not honoring true marriage between a male. Y'all see the one that Quatazop sent out about lesbian marriages? Y'all didn't click on that one? He said when a girl was talking about lesbian marriages as of 2019, how lesbian marriages are worse as far as abuse. It goes into it, but once again, nobody wants to talk about these things because they're going to label you what? You discriminate. You see that? But the truth is real, y'all. Yeah. The truth is real. We can't deny that. So, yeah, come on, let's read on. That was it for you. All right.
They said they leave domestic statistics now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua Rakatah.
Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua Rakatah. Bahasham.
Yeah, man. Definitely get a lot out of this chapter. All right, so you're number what, 5? 5. You're 4 to 21? Got you. And then, yep. Go ahead.
Judges chapter 2 and verse 4. And it came to pass, when the angel of the Lord spake these words unto the children of Israel, that the people lifted up their voice and wept.
Go ahead.
And they called the name of that place Bochim. And they sacrificed there unto the Lord. And when Joshua had let the people go, the children of Israel went every man unto his inheritance, to possess the land. And the people served the Lord all the days of Joshua, and all the days of the elders that outlived Joshua, who had seen all the great works of the Lord that he did for Israel. And Joshua, the son of Nun, the servant of the Lord, died, being 110 years old. And they buried him in the border of his inheritance, in Timnath Heres, in the mount of Ephraim, on the north side of the hills of Gaash. And also all that generation were gathered unto their fathers. And there arose another generation after them, which knew not the Lord.
Okay, now when I was reading this, man, something that popped in my head was, why don't your next generation know? It's simple. This is simple. What was one problem, God? What was one problem with us? Bad what? Anybody? P word? You tuned in, like what? Bad parenting. There's no way that after all of this, The next generation didn't know. Now, we can take into account and say, all right, there was a lot of rebellious in there too. But there was some bad parenting going on. There was some bad parenting going on for our next generation not to know, right? And a lot more dying off because we didn't get taught the right way. So what reminded me is, okay, we kept repeating this cycle because the fathers were not teaching the children. The mothers were not being an example to the children. Yeah, go ahead.
And Connor, that's beautiful to understand that those things were of the reoccurrence. We didn't even made example of our children, where when they were rebellious and high strung, right, and given over to being drunks and looters, like we didn't make them example before the people. We didn't bring them out like the scripture says. You know, we kept those things to ourselves and allow our children to grow up in that disobedient spirit.
Right. And I know I'm jumping ahead. Now we can see as why Samson didn't think it no reason to get with the Hamite woman. I know I'm jumping way ahead of ourselves in the reading, but let's think about it. Because you didn't teach them, listen, don't deal with these women. See, those are the conversations we got to have with our kids. You know what I mean? Now, I know it sounds racist. What happened? Hope you guys. Literally nonsense. Okay, well, if it's nonsense, then switch off the page. You know what I mean? Spell nonsense. If it's nonsense, just click off, man. All right? If you actually read the Bible, you can see that it's not nonsense. I don't understand people. What was I saying? Before I was rudely interrupted? Yeah.
You was talking about Samson.
Oh, yeah, Samson. You see how he started to involve himself. It's probably a Palestinian or... He's probably a damn Palestinian or somebody. They literally do not want you to bring anything up that has to differ, like, from what they believe in. You know what I mean? It's probably one of those cats on there, like, in their feelings. Because they really in their feelings nowadays. They ain't finna lose it. You know what I mean? We better watch it. They might try to drive a truck in here. Serious, man. These cats, it's got to be that. Well, go ahead.
Did you hear about the when we got the report that this Philistine woman drove her car?
Yes, it became
right. It came out that she was thinking
it was a so-called juice spot. Yeah.
Juice spot.
Yeah.
Like really?
Yeah. No, she did, bro. First of all, let's be real. Like, we're not world known like that. We're widely known, but we're not world known. There's some people that still don't know what the hell we teach and where we come from. Like, first of all, from a Palestinian perspective, if you were listening, we're literally agreeing with you that the Israelis over there in that land is not the people of the land. From that perspective. You know what I mean? Now, if you want to get deeper, the Gazans Sioux. That is not your land. Wow. You see that? So, but they're not listening to us. They're not even reading what we're, apparently reading what we're reading. Right? They're not putting this together. Yeah.
I was speaking from the point where if you drive down Granby, right? Mm-hmm. And you see those Jewish churches, right? Those great cathedrals, right? And then you look at, I'm not judging, but I'm like, okay, if IUSPK sanctuary or building was glamorous and big and elegant,
right,
then I could see her misjudgment, right? But if it wasn't, then how can, and she see black people going in, how did she think that it was a Jewish mosque?
Right.
How does she think that?
Yeah. I can see that too. I can definitely see that. Where are we at?
Verse 10.
Verse 10, go ahead.
Come.
I can see that. Yeah, oh, I'm sorry, sis. What you got?
So when was it introduced that we aren't to give our daughters to their...
Deuteronomy 7. 7 and 2.
So that's behind this stuff?
Say that again?
That's behind Judges? Oh.
Before, yeah. Right. Go ahead.
Judges chapter 2 and verse 10 from the top.
Mm-hmm.
And also, all that generation were gathered unto their fathers.
Right.
And there arose another generation after them, which knew not the Lord.
You know what I'm feeling? I'm feeling kind of feisty today. If that person is still on, I want you to tell me where we lost at. What point that we need edification on. Hopefully they're still on. Probably not. I already kicked. We didn't kick them, but I was like, disappear, right? But if we're still on there, walk us through it. Show us what is it where we're not getting. We need prayer. Huh?
Now they're about to leave.
Huh?
Now they're about to leave.
Now they're about to leave because they don't want to answer. I want to know.
They can't.
Like when people do that, I'd be like, bro. Like when I do the 5 minutes of wisdom, I'd be like, why? They're like, yeah, this is stupid. I'm like, okay, why? And then it's like they don't have any educational, you know what I mean, education behind it. It's just, this is dumb.
I just feel it.
Right. It's like, why though? To talk to me, like somebody was like, yeah, this is AI saying this. I'm like, so it's wrong to use AI or the computer to spread the word of God? I didn't hear nothing, right? It's like, how is that wrong, right? But you're speaking and you're speaking with miseducation. You're not even saying anything. You're just venting. So I want to know, like, why are we wrong, right? What point in the reading about the Gazans ain't the true people of the land and the Israelis ain't the true people of the land? What was it that we missed? All right. I know they're not there, but just trying. Go ahead.
Come. Nor yet the works which he had done for Israel.
Right.
And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord.
Right.
And served Balaam.
See? So there's the fall. You didn't listen. You kept them around. And then now their gods and their worship start popping up. And you start being what? Inquiring. Inquiring minds want to know. Right? Oh, dang. Why Balaam is good, right? Why can't we serve Balaam, right? What did we read the other day in Jeremiah? It said that the Queen of Heaven. They're like, see, ever since we followed the Queen of Heaven, everything was good. See, that's the logic. That's why the Most High started doing what he was doing among Israel. Go ahead.
And they forsook the Lord God of their fathers, which brought them out of the land of Egypt, and followed other gods, of the people that were round about them,
right?
And bowed themselves unto them,
right?
And provoked the Lord to anger. And they forsook the Lord and served Baal and Ashtaroth,
right?
And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he delivered them into the hands of spoilers that spoiled them, and he sold them into the hands of their enemies round about, so that they could no longer stand before their enemies. Whithersoever they went out, the hand of the Lord was against them for evil, as the Lord had said.
Right, and that's the outcome. And I know we got that from the Joshua part, that any time we change and move outside of the will of the Father, we are going to fail. Right? What's your question, Aunt? Hold your precept. You got a question. Are you ready to learn? You should be listening and learning. All right, go ahead and read on.
And as the Lord has sworn unto them, and they were greatly distressed. Nevertheless, the Lord raised up judges, which delivered them out of the hand of those that spoiled them.
Right. So the Most High raised up judges, these 14 judges. Go ahead.
And yet They would not hearken unto their judges.
But they would not do what?
Hearken unto their judges.
Yeah, because Israel's ruthless, man. Diabolical. Israel's diabolical. They don't want to hear nobody. Right? Nobody that's telling them, nobody that's warning them. Right? They don't want to listen. Go ahead.
But they went a whoring after other gods.
Right? Because that's what their lust wanted. Go ahead.
And bowed themselves unto them.
Uh-huh.
They turned quickly out of the way which their fathers walked in, obeying the commandments.
Why did they turn? Why did they turn quickly? Because it makes sense. I know we're reading it from a perspective. We're like looking at the story, and you're like, yeah, they're off. But they're off until things in your life start not making sense to serve the Most High. And why you don't got to do it the way the scriptures say, and then you will be off. It's like, it's always easy to judge retrospect, but when you're in the moment, and your feelings start to change about things, that's what drives you to this point. So what you're not looking at, we're on a linear timeline. And it takes, look, if we do live 80 years, right? Can you be consistent those 80 years in serving the Most High? You see that? Now, those 80 years are chopped up with what? Trials and tribulation in life.
Gone.
Right? You're not perfect, so as you're dipped, can your logic and your integrity stay the same on this linear timeline all the way to your death? So everybody, like we're judging, yeah, Israel's wicked, Israel's off. I would have never did that. But let's be real. How are you so quick to abandon the logic? Well, not abandoning the logic. You don't even know the logic. You don't even know the scriptures. And you don't want to hear it. So doesn't that sound exactly like what they were doing? Like you don't even have the full picture yet. And then when somebody lays the full picture out to you and like, oh, here's what you're not considering. Look at this scripture. Look at that. You're like, yeah, but nah. That's exactly what they were doing back then. They were making it make sense to be rebellious. It just made sense. I don't got to listen to you. Right? Well, it's not me. Well, where's Yahweh at? I see Baal. He's right there in the corner. Right? I see Baal, but I don't see this Yahweh. All I see is you coming to me and telling me to do some things. That's reality. That's reality. So as we judge and be like, man, Israel's wicked. Bro, the reality is when you got a brother, a husband, a father warning you, you're in the back of your little mind, little peanut in the mind, you're saying, you're a man. I don't have to listen to you. Not knowing that the Most High has given each other the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to warn your brother, to show them. So it's easier said than done, right? So as we look at this, we got to understand, well, why did they do it? Because time will break you or make you. It will break you or make you. Can you be righteous till the end? Right?
Con.
Yeah,
that's a powerful statement.
Yeah. Go ahead, say what you're going to say.
No, I was just saying that's a powerful statement. Time can be a benefit. It can be a benefit, but if you don't want to put in work, it can be your enemy. But it's your best friend, but it's only your enemy because you don't want to put the work in. You know, because it creates this world where you gotta really subdue your own understanding daily, so that you can and the Most High waking you up graciously gives you the opportunity every day to subdue that understanding, so that you can use the time wisely. But what you're saying, the way you said it was like it was thick.
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah. All right, come on, read on.
They turned quickly out of the way which their fathers walked in, obeying the commandments of the Lord, but they did not so. And when the Lord raised them up judges, then the Lord was with the judge,
right,
and delivered them out of the hand of
I don't want to hear the judge. I don't want to hear the judge.
When the Lord was with the judge, and delivered them out of the hand of their enemies all the days of the judge, for it repented the Lord because of their groanings by reason of them.
Right, meaning You go. The Most High is like, man, I'm doing this for y'all, and y'all still don't see it. So now the Most High got to turn back and do what? Whoop you, right? Give you the lesson. Go ahead.
Con, Lord, it repented the Lord because of their groanings,
right?
By reason of them that oppressed them and vexed them,
right?
And it came to pass when the judge was dead that they returned and corrupted themselves more.
Why? Why? Because there's no individual accountability on the way the Most High said it. Right? You want to go about to establish your own righteousness and anoint yourself pure based on what you feel. And a lot of times, the fact is, the truth is, we don't even have the damn Genesis 1 to 3 down. You don't got the full picture. That's why you need your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, somebody to say, hey, you're forgetting something. You're forgetting something here, huh? Yeah, you're okay, that's on point, but you're forgetting this. And that's what we continually do over time. And then that's why when the judges pop up, you're like, nah, I'm not hearing that. Because you'll go about to establish your own righteousness in your own mind. You know, you got Genesis to Revelations down. You know, you still asking basic questions. You still don't even know how to perform the doing of the basic wisdom among you. But you're a scholar, you know every damn thing. You see? And that's what we tend to do. Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
What do you mean when you say we don't know how to perform?
We don't know how to use the wisdom and apply it in our life. We don't really know how to apply it in our life, but we, through knowledge, get puffed up and say, oh, you know what? I got knowledge, so that makes me right in my own eyes. So when the judge pops up and it's like, but you missed that, I don't got to hear that because I know things too. So you can see how this keeps us falling back into that mind state because of the pride and stubbornness and rebelliousness. Go ahead.
And following other gods to serve them and to bow down unto them, they cease not from their own doing,
right?
Nor from their stubborn way. And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel. And he said, because that this people have transgressed my covenant, which I commanded their fathers, and have not hearkened unto my voice, I also will not henceforth drive out any from before them of the nations which Joshua left when he died.
Wow.
All right. Sixth brother. We're getting through this. Go ahead.
Judges chapter 2 and verse 22. That through them I may prove Israel, whether they will keep the way of the Lord to walk therein, as their fathers did keep it, or not. Therefore the Lord left those nations without driving them out hastily, neither delivered he them into the hand of Joshua. Judges chapter 3 and verse 1. Now these are the nations which the Lord left, to prove Israel by them.
Okay, so that goes back, sis, to answer that question further. Why? Why is this, the Most High is okay with this? Because now the Most High is like, okay, because you didn't listen, I'm going to let this stand, and it's going to do what? Reveal what you about. Because even now, we're in the midst of a crooked and perverse generation. But like I said the other day, like the word says, we supposed to shine as lights. There's supposed to be a separation between clean and unclean. I get to work, and the demons at work make me a demon. Right? I get with my family, and all of a sudden I get on the phone with them, and I no longer abide in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. I'm literally a demon just like them. You see, this is the point, that all these situations in this world, being amongst the wicked, proves us. Are you going to shine as lights, or are you going to be different? Go ahead.
To prove Israel by them, even as many of Israel as had not known all the wars of Canaan, only that the generations of the children of Israel might know.
What verse are you at?
Verse 2. Judges chapter 3 and verse 2. Second precept. To teach them war, at the least, such as before knew nothing thereof. Namely, 5 lords of the Philistines, and all the Canaanites, and the Sidonians, and the Hivites, that dwelt in Mount Lebanon, from Mount Baal, Hermon, unto the entering in of Hamath. And they were to prove Israel by them, to know whether they would hearken unto the commandments of the Lord, which he commanded their fathers by the hand of Moses. And the children of Israel dwelt among the Canaanites, Hittites, and Amorites, and Perizzites, and Hivites, and Jebusites. And they took their daughters to be their wives.
There you go. That's the proving. The proving is in the pudding. In this case, the pudding was those women. Now you start to, they were supposed to be servants, but you upgraded them to what?
Wives.
Wives. Wife status. They were supposed to be slaves, but now she's a what? She got an opinion. She's raising the kids. You letting a heathen raise the kids with a heathen mind. See? Now, let's be fair. We do it nowadays too. You know your rib is still in a worldly mind, and you let her raise the kids according to a worldly mind. Because she's got an opinion, but her experience, her wisdom, her logic ain't according to the experience of the Most High. And now you got confusion. You got the kids double-minded, unsure, unstable. Go ahead.
And gave their daughters to their sons. And served their gods. And the children.
So y'all get this? So as we start moving forward through this timeline, you start to see, oh man, now I see what's going on here. Dang, Solomon. Dang, Samson. Dang, all these other men that we're going to jump into. You realize, oh wow, these cats was moving off. Go ahead.
And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord, and forgot the Lord their power, and served Balaam, and the groves.
And the what?
And the groves.
Remember what we were reading yesterday, y'all? Behind the groves goes all the way back to who? Before the Babylonians, who? Hamites. All this grove behind the tree with the swine and the mouse, it comes from these Hamitic origin nations. Right? So that's where the Christmas tree, remember, there's so many incarnations of that tree through all these other nations. We never worshiped these things. We never believed in them. We never gave a damn about the righteous until we started messing with the other nations. Yes, sis.
When you're saying something about the trees, I just went back to Adam and Eve, like the tree of good and evil. You're supposed to stay away from that.
Right, but we know that wasn't a physical tree. That was the trees of the garden. These nations that we weren't supposed to mingle with and then learn their knowledge. That tree in that aspect. Because yes, their knowledge was worshiping other gods, the sun, the moon, the stars, right? Everything else except the Father, the unseen God, right? Go ahead.
Therefore the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he sold them into the hand of Cushan Rishathaim, king of Mesopotamia. And the children of Israel served Cushan Rishathaim 8 years. And when the children of Israel cried unto the Lord raised up a deliverer to the children of Israel, who delivered them, even Othniel, the son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother.
Remember I said it earlier? So he's one of the first judges. Okay, there were 14. So make sure you're writing and noting that. One of the first judges. Go ahead.
Verse 10.
Uh-huh.
And the Spirit of the Lord came upon him.
Right.
And he judged Israel.
Right.
And went out to war. And the Lord delivered Cushan.
Listen, the Most High is going to he's going to raise up the ones that desire. So what? So what? Like you said the other, the cowards, the ones that don't want to hear to the calling. The Most High will replace you. We know that very well with Saul and David. You don't want to hear, you don't want to do it the right way, the Most High will replace you. It doesn't matter, right? Your fruits will not come to fruition, right? Go ahead.
It says, and the Spirit of the Lord came upon him, and he judged Israel, and went out to war. And the Lord delivered Cushan Rishathaim, king of Mesopotamia, into his hand. And his hand prevailed against Cushan Rishathaim. And the land had rest for 40 years. And Othniel, the son of Kenaz, died. And the children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the Lord.
Bro, I don't need nobody telling me what to do. Yeah, we do. We need each other. We need each other. Woe to him that is left alone. The husband needs the wife needs the husband. Right? And that's if they in the spirit. If you both are blind, where does that lead you? In a ditch, right? So we need somebody that's going to guide us with wisdom and remind us, hey, that's not the way. This is the way, brother. Right? Right, exactly. Go ahead. This is the way.
It says, verse 12. And the children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the Lord. And the Lord strengthened Eglon, the king of Moab, against Israel, because they had done evil in the sight of the Lord. And he gathered unto him the children of Ammon and Amalek, and went and smote Israel, and possessed the city of palm trees.
So what are we understanding here? When we are out of the spirit, there's always drama in your life. Not only regular affliction or trials, you talk about drama, death, bloodshed, turmoil, right? Somebody's getting hurt, harmed, fear of life, fear of death, right? Yeah, you got to see, like, we got to ask ourselves, okay, wait a minute, this is just not a regular trial. The Most High is checking me. For what reason? What am I doing? You got to consider there's a way that seemeth right unto a man. A man is pure in his own eyes. So what do we need? You need that judge, that brother to be like, hey, you're doing this. This is the outcome of that. Right? And we didn't want to hear the judges. Go ahead.
He says, and possessed the city of palm trees. So the children of Israel served Eglon, the king of Moab, 18 years. But when the children of Israel cried unto the Lord raised them up a deliverer, Ehud.
Right, so Ehud is the second judge. Note that. Ehud is the second judge. Go ahead.
The son of Gurah, a Benjamite, a man left-handed. And by him the children of Israel sent a present unto Eglon, the king of Moab. And Ehud made him a dagger which had 2 edges, of a cubit length, and he did gird it under his raiment upon his right thigh.
Okay, and I'm going to read on to the 31st verse, and then we're going to go to Baruch, and then that's going to be the reading. So if anybody got any questions outside of the reading, get it together so we can answer that. Verse 17, and he brought the present unto Eglon, king of Moab, and Eglon was a very fat man. And when he had made an end to offer the present, he sent away the people that bare the present. But he himself turned again from the quarries, and that were by Gilgal, and said, I have a secret errand unto thee, O king, who said, keep silence, And all that stood by him went out from him, and Ehud came unto him, and he was sitting in a summer parlor, which he had for himself alone. And Ehud said, I have a message from Yahweh unto thee. And he arose out of his seat, and Ehud put forth his left hand and took the dagger from his right thigh and thrust it into his belly. And the half also went after the blade. Man, he put the whole thing up in him, huh? Jesus. And the fat closed upon the blade, so that he could not draw the dagger out of his belly. And the dirt came out. He said this guy was filthy, huh? The dirt came out. Then Ehud went forth through the porch and shut the doors out of the parlor upon him and locked them. Somebody has to step up. Somebody has to be that man with the courage, or woman with the courage, that's going to step in the slot for the nation of Israel. And when he was gone out, his servants came, and when they saw that, behold, the doors of the parlor were locked, they said, surely he covered his feet in his summer chamber. And they tarried till they were ashamed, and said, and behold, he opened not the doors to the parlor. Therefore they took a key and opened them, and behold, their Lord fallen down dead on the earth. And Ehud escaped while they tarried, and passed beyond the quarries, and encamped into Sirath. And it came to pass when he was come, that he blew a trumpet in the mountain of Ephraim, and the children of Israel went down with him from the mount, and he before them. And he said unto them, follow after me, for the Lord hath delivered your enemies, the Moabites, into your hand. And they went down after him, and they took the fords of Jordan toward Moab, and suffered not a man to pass over. And they slew of Moab that had about 10,000 men, all lusty, and all men of valor, and were escaped not a man, and there escaped not a man. So Moab was subdued that day under the hand of Israel, and the land rest 80 years. Verse 31. And after him was Shemgar, the son of Anath, which slew of the Philistines 600 men with an ox goad. And he also delivered Israel. So you got Amithel, you got Ehud, and then you got Shamgar. Shamgar is number 3. One of the judges. Right? So that's it on that. We're going to go over to Baruch, the 4th chapter. Baruch, the 4th chapter. Oh, I'm sorry, 5th. Excuse me. Baruch 5. Baruch. Baruch means Barak. Baruch is Barak in English, which means bless. Right? Barak. All right. Number 5. Oh, this is quick. Put off, O Jerusalem, the garment of thy mourning and affliction, and put on comeliness of the glory that cometh from Yahweh forever. Cast about thee a double garment of the righteousness which cometh from Yahweh, and set a diadem of them of thine hand, of thy head, of the glory of the everlasting. For Yahweh will show thy brightness unto every country under heaven. For thy name shall be called the power forever. Check that out. That's cold. And yes, the Most High refers to Israel as the first begotten, right? So we under Yahweh Shai, he said, ye are sons of the living power. So this terminology of being a son of God, Why are we getting twisted? He's the Son of the Most High. Were you not begotten of the Father? Okay. So why was it strange that Yahweh Shai was begotten of the Father? We all were begotten of the Father. And if we walk like the Son, right, we will be sons as well. What's that?
I look at it as, I mean, he was an Israelite, so it's the same thing.
It's the same thing. Right. They try to make it extra, like this is foreign, like, well, how could he be the Son of God? Well, we're all sons of God. Right? It says, but ye shall die like men. Because we disobey what? The commandments, right? So, for thy name shall be called of the Most High forever. The peace of righteousness and the glory of Yahweh's worship. Arise, O Jerusalem, and stand on high. And look about toward the east. And behold, thy children gathered from the west unto the east by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing the remembrance of the Most High. For they departed from thee on foot, and were led away of their enemies. But Yahweh bringeth them unto thee, exalted with glory, as children of the kingdom. For the Most High have appointed thee that every high hill and banks of long continuance should be cast down and valleys filled up, to make even the ground, that Israel may go safely in the glory of the Most High. Moreover, even the woods and every sweet-smelling tree shall overshadow Israel by the commandment of the Most High. For Yahweh shall lead Israel with joy in the light of his glory, with the mercy and righteousness that cometh from him. So that's it. Yeah.
When it says in verse 5, the Holy One, who is that?
Verse 5. Oh, that's Yahweh Shai. Right? Because we know that Yahweh Shai is big brother that's going to come lead us out. Right? And obviously this prayer is a prophecy. Right? We're still in the east. We're still in the west. We're still scattered. We haven't put off our garments of affliction. So this is a future prophecy. Yeah.
You know how like it always talks about the garment that was taken from Noah. What is the garment symbolize?
You know what? When it said that, you know what it reminded me of? Go to Isaiah, and this is gonna answer your question. What is it? What is it? I used to have this by heart. What is it? Jeez. Wow. 52. 52 and 1. Isaiah 52 and 1.
Isaiah chapter 52, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Come. Hearken to me.
Isaiah 52 and 1.
Isaiah chapter 52, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Awake, put on thy strength, O Zion.
Right?
Put on thy beautiful garment.
Okay, so why now do we put on the beautiful garments? Because as opposed to the garments or the garments of affliction, or what? Sackcloth, right? Burlap. But now you're going to come back and put on your glorious apparel, because this represents what? Rejoicing, joy, right? Prestige, happiness, peace. So our beautiful garments is us coming back to us of who we are. Because right now, the garments that we wear, they're garments of affliction, right? All your garments were created by some faggot in Italy or Rome or France or somewhere. But when we put back on our robes of righteousness, the way according to the scriptures, we're putting back part of us, right? Coming back to the Most High. Yeah.
So was the garment of affliction supposed to, well, physically, when you put on a garment and it's wool, right? It's prickly. It rashes your skin, right?
Right.
So it makes you think of that affliction while you're in it.
Yeah.
Right. But the garment of praise, the garment of hope.
There you go.
You don't think about that affliction.
That's that good cloth.
Exactly. That's praise and that's glory.
Yeah, that's that silk. That's that material that what? Caresses your skin. Right? It's soft, right?
You feel good.
You feel good, but the clothes of affliction, it reminds you, man, I'm catching it. Right? That's when your lips are dry. You know, your hair ain't moist. Right? You're just catching it, right? So the Most High is just reminding us, when we put back on the light, righteousness, we're going to put back on our beautiful apparel as well. Go ahead.
Oh, Jerusalem.
Go ahead.
The holy city.
Right.
For henceforth there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and the unclean.
Right. Basically, right what Barak is saying. He's saying the same thing. He's like, look, the uncleanliness is going to move from you. When that happens, we're going to be able to put on the things that glorify us, that makes us kings and priests. He goes on and says, read.
Shake thyself from the dust.
See, come out of the dust. You're dusty as hell. Let's put back on these beautiful garments. Right? Go ahead.
Arise.
Right?
And sit down.
Read.
O Jerusalem.
Read.
Loose thyself from the bands of thy neck.
Right?
O captive daughter of Zion.
So that's what he's reminding us. Okay, you're no longer captive. Put on your beautiful garments now. Take off the clothes and the garments of sackcloth and mourning. You get that? Yeah. All right. Anything else online real quick? If anybody doesn't have anything, we're going to go ahead and finish up with the Shabbat prayers. Yeah.
I don't have a question, but I just wanted to say that it's 12 judges.
Is it 12?
Yeah. Well, here it's 12.
Okay, no. I thought it was 12, but I'm like, I have 14 written down. Why do I got that then? Oh, you're right. I didn't pay attention. I wrote in the middle here different judges, and I added different judges to my count. I stand corrected. The what? Yeah, because I was like, should it be 12? 12 tribes, 12 judges? The what for correcting me? Yeah.
I got a question too. I know I'm jumping in Judges, but in Judges 4 it says Deborah was the judge.
Yeah.
Am I correct? Okay, Connor.
Well, when we get to the Judges 4 next week, there was a double, because it was Deborah and Barak. But we're going to get into that story, why Deborah was a judge. I mean, y'all get it. So far, you should already understand. Israel was losing their backbone. So who steps up when the men lose their backbone? It happens. Right? Until the man comes back in his stead and is honorable. But this is, you see what happens when we let the nations implement. Right? And I don't want to jump in it. We're going to go over it next week. But we'll go over that. We'll touch on that. We'll save all that. Any other questions online? We'll wait a few seconds. We will wait a few seconds. Oh wow, Look, while we wait a few seconds, grab that right there. I want to show brothers and sisters, the only reason we're reminding y'all what we do, we're just reminding y'all, we know it's the Shabbat. We're reminding y'all that we do these things online, Chosen Creations, right? All the pieces you see behind us, we do these things. All right, you can hang that back up. While we're waiting to see if anybody got any questions. So if you want any piece done, Chosen Creation. We ask for alms. Get that one right there again. We ask for alms, but we try to do things to where we don't got to just take. We give back, right? This is another piece we did. The brother praying towards Jerusalem. All right, this is a kind of a 3D. Move it to the side. 3D thing we do. So brothers and sisters that want to support, you know, you can support that way. You don't have to support. Either way it go, do your alms deeds, but we try to do it to where we're not just begging all the time. All right? I know that sounds. Begging. Give me the anointing one. Give me the anointing one. So we're not. That's how I'm gonna start out. So we're not begging all the time. We do things like this. This is the anointing prayer. and for your house. So go on Chosen Creations, and if you guys want to support, you can support that way. All right. Has anybody got anything online?
No, sir.
Nothing. What's that?
The dog in Tobit.
In Tobit, the dog?
Yeah. Well, no, is it actually a dog, or is it like a slave, or another nation?
Let's go there.
It's 2 precepts.
Go ahead and read it. Refresh my memory on this one.
Tobit 5:16.
Right.
Says, so they were well pleased. Then said he to Tobias, prepare thyself for the journey, and God send you a good journey. And when his son had prepared all things for the journey, his father said, go thou with this man, and God, which dwelleth in heaven, prosper your journey, and the angel of God keep you company. So they went forth both, and the young man's dog with them.
No, that. I like that though. I like where your head's with that. Yet the dogs on the table reading the scriptures. No, that's an actual dog. I mean, there was no. Remember, the precepts are going to show and kind of insinuate at least that this was referring to an actual person or something. I like it though.
The very first time I read it, I'm like, why do you just add a dog in there? Like, if it was a cat, like, all right, it's a cat following. I'm like,
right. Correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't seen anything that insinuated when reading through Tobit that this was actual a person they were referring to as in slavery position. Now, let's look at this. When you look at their condition, they were in captivity. So for them to have a slave probably was during this time, in the condition they were in, the things that they didn't have, and the things that they were out of, right? Remember, Tobit, the food, where are we going to get this? Remember the doubt that came in? It wouldn't be a slave because they were low. They were low during this time. How are you going to be low and have a servant? Any of y'all got servants? Right. So that's how you can, if you put the context of the reading together, you say, well, that couldn't have been because we were in captivity, right? We were in slavery and they were hungry. They were out. They were second questioning where they're going to get things from. Yeah. Right. All right. All right. Any other questions online? Yeah, that's a good one though. The stuff we get. It is random, but I mean, look, the other thing is random, like the fish thing. The fish thing was random to me, right? Like take the fish. You know what I mean? You're gonna make this sop with it or whatever. That right there. Well, go ahead.
Well, that made sense to me because it was
the herbs.
It was telling you like what he did, the concoction and all that.
Right.
All right, the ingredients.
Yeah.
But
the dog. I can see that. I can see where you're going to that. That is random, but take your dog with you. Yeah. All right. Nothing online?
No.
Okay, let's set up the prayers then. I might as well upon your hakodam. That's funny as hell. It was an Edomite slave. Or it could have been like DMX, my man's in there, right?
You ready?
Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shah. All power, all praise, all majesty is of you. You are the King, King of kings, and Lord of lords. The Wadi Yahweh, for this day of rest. Keep us. Bring peace upon us this day. Remove confusion, doubts, fears, anguish away from us. Yahweh, we ask of you, continually bless your servants. Bless Yasha'Allah with the fruits of the Spirit. Wisdom, knowledge, understanding, faith, long-suffering, patience, and gentleness. And remove from us the spirit of anguish, pain and suffering, doubts and fears, anxiety. Please, Yahweh, strengthen the faithless, strengthen the doubters, strengthen the unbelievers, and continually empower us with your word. Yahweh, gather all the tribes of the Iqua together as from the beginning and inherit thou them. Make the time short and remember the covenant and let them declare thy wondrous works. Raise up indignation. Raise up indignation and pour out wrath. Take away the adversary and destroy the enemy. Yahweh, make the time short and deliver your servants from this wicked and forward generation. Bahasham Yahweh Shai. We pray. Barakatay Ho. Bahasham Yahweh Shai. Hahawa'a. Napalanawa. Ha-tawara.
This is blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives us the law.
Barakatay Ho. Bahasham Yahweh Shai. Hahawa'a. Napalanawa. A war. Lara'a.
This is blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives us the light to see.
Barakatay Ho. Bahasham Yahweh Shai. Hahawa'a. Napalanawa. Ha'ayo. Korah. La. Korah. Ha'ain.
This is blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives us the ram's horn to call the people.
Barakatay Ho. Bahasham Yahweh Shai. Hahawa'a. Napalanawa. Shaman. Zayaf. Lamashath. Yasha'Allah.
This is blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives to us the olive oil to anoint Israel.
And as always, if you want to get anointed, we do that after class. Psalms 92. It is a good thing to give thanks unto Yahweh and to sing praises unto his name. O Most High, to show forth thy loving kindness in the morning and thy faithfulness every night upon an instrument of 10 strings, upon the psaltery, upon the harp with a solemn sound. For thou, Yahweh, has made me glad. Through thy work, has made me glad. Through thy work, I will triumph in the works of thy hands. O Yahweh, how great are thy works, and thy thoughts are very deep. A brutish man knoweth not, neither doeth a fool understand this. When the wicked spring up as grass, and when all the workers of iniquity do flourish, it is that they shall be destroyed forever. But thou, Yahweh, art most high, forevermore. For lo, thy enemies, Yahweh, for lo, thy enemies shall perish. All the workers of iniquity shall be scattered. But my horn shalt thou exalt, like the horn of a unicorn. We shall be anointed with fresh oil. My eye also shall see my desires, and my enemies, and my ears shall hear my desire. Of the wicked that rise up against us, The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. He shall grow like the cedar in Lebanon. Those that be planted in the house of Yahweh shall flourish in the courts of the Most High. They shall still bring fruit. They shall still bring forth fruit in their old age. They shall be fat and flourishing to show that Yahweh is upright. He is my rock, and there is no unrighteousness in him. Sorry, I'm trying to get that through memory. This is Psalms 133. Shayar, Hamalawah, Ladawah, Hana, Matawah, Wana, Wama, Nayim, Shabbat, Achim, Gam, Yachad, Kashaman, Hatawad, Ayu, Harash, Yerad, Ayu, Hazakwan, Zakwan, Aharan, Shayirad, Alpanya, Marawathiwa, Katol, Karawan, Shayirad, Ayu, Hariyah, Tazayawan, Kaya, Sham, Tazawa, Yahweh, At, Habaraka, Kayayam, Ai, Kaiwalam, Aman.
This is Psalms 133. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garments, as the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Lord commanded the blessing, even life forevermore.
Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Dawada, Tabyad, Ba'ai, Hashabath, Dawada, Aman. All right, salute.
I like how you rock the shirts first.
Bro, don't blame that. Right? Go ahead.
Akim, Ahmad, Barak, Yahweh, Shem Yahweh,
Yadi Matah, turn to face the sisters. We ain't gonna get a Kwame Asham? Go ahead, call him. Yadi Matah, turn to face sister. Go ahead.
Salute now the daughters of Zion. Men of Israel, Ahmad, Barak,
Yahweh All right, say Shabbat Shalom to everybody online.